And let me hit the go live button. Welcome in a YouTube and Twitch. My apologies, you guys. We have been in this conversation and it has gotten very, very deep. And I appreciate you guys for just now tuning in. But tonight's topic is why don't Black males protect Black women? What is the issue? What is the problem? Why are we not holding each other accountable? And what is it that Black women actually did to you that makes you so mad? So please continue to tune in. If you are on YouTube, please hit the like button, subscribe, and engage in the live. And if you guys are over here on the TikTok and you have another device, please put it into the YouTube so that we can accumulate the hours that we need to be able to transition very seamlessly. Just in case TikTok is not here, but TikTok, we love you. We hope that you are. Oh yeah, thank you for the dollar donation that says the difference between a trick and a man is a trick needs to be needed. That was women like me exploit. I go for tricks. They keep my bills paid because you want to feel needed. Real men know they are needed. I don't need not a red cent from men who are real men. Can y'all draw some coconuts for all y'all in the chat? Okay, and I'm gonna leave our goal. It's now 110. I don't know if you guys can see that, and you can't at all. I may put it in a different color. I don't know. It's 110. But sometimes TikTok be acting a little funny if I put it up on there and I can't put the sticker on there. So, and I didn't want to crowd it up with all the stuff. So here we go. Terry, thank you so much for your patience, beautiful. You have the floor. You feel free to say whatever you want to say.
Y'all are so organized. This is amazing. First of all, I want to compliment you for changing the subject because I do think that these conversations are extraordinarily important.
Thank you.
And these are places where this type of concentrated conversation takes place. So kudos for doing that. I have a little bit of just a tiny bit of background. I'm not going to speak long.
No, go ahead.
I'm very much out of the normal demographic, I suspect, because I'm 67 and I don't live in America anymore. I live in Japan.
Congratulations.
But thank you. I mean, this is a time to not be in the States, except that I'm still doing a lot of fighting for home from here. And also, I have not been in a relationship in a very long time. And so I may be a little behind the times on. Well, I like being single. I actually don't even think of it as being single. I think of it as being myself. But, and also one last thing, shout out to those of us who are old and work retail. We can laugh at the people working at Burger King, but some of them are my age. And yeah, maybe we made some bad decisions, but we're trying to keep a roof over our heads. I do work retail here in Tokyo. So just want to say everything is not always the flibberty gibbet, to 19-year-olds. That's an assumption. Okay, so here's the thing. In my experience, I grew up in New York City. I was born in Harlem. In my experience, there is a kind of an allergy to self-awareness amongst Americans writ large, and in every type of community, and that includes the Black community. And I include myself in that. There's an allergy to self-awareness. The myths have been so well sold, and the right in general, and white supremacy in particular, is so good at marketing, much better than we are, meaning the various spectrum of the left. All of that has contributed to the situation that we as people, we as Black people, and we as Black men and women find ourselves in today. And I think one of the antidotes, potentially, is making a commitment to become self-aware. Now, people will bring up books and say, Bell Hooks talked about this and June Jordan talked about this, but those are college reading level material. And some of it I can barely understand, and I went to Fordham University. So I want to say, if you make just a simple commitment, hey, you know what? Let me, Black men or Black women, but specifically Black men, let me just take a week and step out of myself for just a little bit, do a little breathing, step out of myself and see how I react to the people around me.
Mm-hmm.
So that includes, we got to deal with microaggressions and outright racism. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the regular, experiences that you have in our community where you just take a second to breathe before you respond. And let that start to be a little bit of a self-awareness tool. I don't know the whole answer. I probably would put the entire country into therapy, honestly,
I think
because
it's
we are so
needed.
screwed up as a country. We are so screwed up as a country. I mean, Japan is screwed up too, but it's for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think if you can't afford the therapy and you don't feel like reading college level books, take a deep breath before you respond and try to think about whatever response you're going to make as if you were somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And just try to push a little bit into the self-awareness space. And maybe that'll help you sort of separate just a little bit and think about why you're having this response. For example, you need to be needed. You need to feel like you're needed. That's not a male thing or a female thing. That's a thing.
That's a
That's a
human
human thing. But that's cool. At 67, I know what that feels like. But I submit to you, y'all young folks, all your young folks, I submit to you that there is something so delicious about understanding yourself. There's pain involved, yes. There's heartache involved, absolutely. I'm not saying it's you'll excuse me, cakewalk. It is not.
Mm-hmm.
But when you find your behavior subtly changing because you took that extra deep breath and you started to think, hey, maybe what I'm doing is part of the reason why I'm getting these results. That's just all I want to say. And it's coming from somebody who's very, very old. So maybe this might be useful
You are not
to somebody.
old. You're not
And
old.
I haven't figured it out.
No.
Hold on a second. Tokyo. Nihongo desu ka?
Terry, it's Terry, sweetheart. I'm sorry.
Terry,
I just say Tokyo, Terry.
Nihongo desu ka?
日本語できますよ。もちろんです。
Desu. So,
私はジェシカさん。
Nihongo.
かわいい。
Thank you, Nihongo Daigaku.
ここにいてくれてありがとう。
So,
Y'all didn't know I knew some of that shit, did y'all?
Nice. Y'all sound damn good.
Mm-hmm.
I can't read the language. I always say I have Japanese dyslexia, but I can speak well enough to get a job. So
What
that's about
channel
it.
is
But I don't want to keep you.
Girl, I was asking for a friend to see if I could get away with it.
You did quite well. なんか上手ですね、日本語は。すごい素晴らしいですよ。I'm gonna go, but I'm just coming from someplace a little bit beyond the ages probably here. And it's worth it to learn about yourself. It's so worth it. It really seriously is. And you can drop me now, Jessica.
Thank you so much.
y'all.
I appreciate you for coming up. And I thank you again so much for your patience.
No worries.
Y'all didn't know I knew that shit, did y'all? Wow, speaking of this shit, boy. I used to live stream on 2 Japanese apps before I got here. Okay, so I learned a few things along the way.
I follow anyone from the panel. I can only follow people, or I can't do anything on the panel, so I'm really useless up here as a mod. It's giving me an error message whenever I click on someone or try to do something. So
It's okay. It's okay. What was I about to say? First of all, you guys give me a follow if you've not done so. Again, continue to tap screen. Let's get to 100K. I appreciate all the love and the taps. Again, the best way to support the live is via Cash App and or Venmo, where I get 100% of the proceeds. If you see Culture and Chaos Podcast adding you, that is just me. That's me tonight. Okay. So, and I appreciate all of the love. Just like a quick tidbit. If you wonder, let me tell you something. People are going to do where you're most likely. I do what I want. But most likely people are going to do where your money goes. And you can't say that you're tired of hearing about MAGA and hearing the same talking points and doing the same thing when that's where your money goes, right? And that's why people continue to do the same topics, the same shit. So we are switching it up, but I just want to know I appreciate all of the same love and appreciation the same way. I'm sick of fucking arguing MAGA because I think at this point it's deeper than that. And I think it's important for us to have those tough conversations to get to the root of the problem and why it's deeper than that. Now, this is, baby, we still get into it, and, we enjoy those lives where they are necessarily, still going back and forth. But I think also too, hey Taylor, thank you for the $10 for I'm tired of MAGA. Me too. Can y'all drop some coconuts for Taylor in the chat? Thank you for the $10 dono. Now we are down to 100 on our daily goal. Okay, that's why I've been kind of like figuring out like what's different, what's next, and how do we move forward? Like how can we, because I am still a content creator, but I think it's important to really make a difference, and I feel like we all have to attack it in different levels, and this is just my way. I appreciate you guys. Again, I'm Jessica Smalley at Cash App and Venmo. I thank you guys and I appreciate it. Brandon, welcome to the chat. How are you? Thank you for your patience.
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing amazing.
That's good.
Go
ahead.
I was just going to ask the prompt, why don't black males protect black women?
I really don't agree with your prompt that much, to be honest. The people you have up there, I guess, Megan Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez, that situation is, I don't know what to make of it. I think people will feel differently if it wasn't Megan Thee Stallion who that happened to, because a lot of people don't like her for whatever reason. So I believe that Tory Lanez more than likely, did that to her. But I think it's a combination of just who she is and who he is, in a situation of how his career is pretty much destroyed. But when it comes to Holly and DDG, I just don't know enough about that situation. So I think people are just picking sides because that's what the internet does. There are people who are going to be for a woman because they are a woman, and they're going to be people for a man because they're a man, and they see something slighted in them and their past trauma to side with DDG and vice versa. So
do you feel like you don't feel like men are do you feel like there's a problem with black men protecting black women at all? Or do you feel like black women are protected by black men?
I think men protect their own, like their sisters, their mothers, their wives, women that they are, I guess, related to or in contact with or friends with. But to protect a random woman that they don't know, like, will they say something? Yes, of course. If they saw something happen, would they say something or call the police? Yeah, I think they would do that. But as a collective whole, no, I don't think that happens anymore, because, to be honest, men are just not looked at in society as how they used to be. How black men are not looked at in society how they used to be.
So my thing is, you said that they protect their own. Then why are black women in the forefront of most likely to lose their life by their partner? If they're protecting their girlfriend or their spouse, why are they most likely to lose their life to their spouse?
Well, that's everybody. Everybody's more likely to lose their life within someone that's close proximity to them. No matter what the race or gender, it's just the fact that you're around that person significantly more than anyone else. So that's why that number looks like that.
But black women are more likely to lose their life to their partner than any other race. And
because the black
CDC even had a study on it too, and I think I had it pulled up if I'm not mistaken. Oh, there it was, right there.
So are you saying that black men are more violent towards black women than any other race?
Yes, to their partner.
Okay,
to their partner.
Yeah, no, it's true, but it's just not. It just doesn't stop there. Black men are more violent to other black men. Black women are more violent to other black women. Like, violence is the issue as a whole in our community. You just can't single out one instance and just say, well, why is this showing up? Like, black people are more violent, period.
No,
so it would show
up every talking point. No, that's not true either. Black people
actually is.
No.
That's not statistically proven. You pull that up in the FBI statistics and prove it to me and provide me the citation.
Yes, black people are more statistically more violent to other black people than any other group of people.
That's
true.
That's
Where
not
did you
true.
get that from? Citation, please.
Yes.
I'm sorry,
FBI statistics and crime. Yes, they do.
Okay, hold on.
Sorry, are you saying that black
hold
people are more
on.
violent to
Brandon,
black
hold on, Brandon. It's okay. Because I see at the CDC, I'm at cdc.gov where it talks about black women who are more likely to be unalived by their partner than any other race. They're in the forefront. They're in the leading, right?
I agree.
Okay. So my thing is, if you're telling me that black people are just inherently, what did you say it was?
I'm saying that black people are inherently, like the entire community is more violent towards each other, and no matter what direction. Like
Okay,
black people are more violent to black
where can
men.
I find that information?
Yes, there's the FBI's
FBI.gov,
crime
because it's
statistics.
the second time I've been here. And then what is the actual article that I can pull up to see that information? Because somebody came in here with crime statistics earlier and it brought up over 10,000 articles. And I think it's important for us to be able to see which article that it is. Hannah, thank you. Hey, KLC too. Thank you, KLC, Hannah, and Hector. How you doing, Hector? Trish, thank you as well.
So what do you want?
I'm talking out of turn, but I want to acknowledge number one. Thank you for having me up here, but I'm going to go ahead and position myself to support you in the event that you need me, because I'm almost certain that he's going to come back with 13% of the population, 50%, blah 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 blah, and he's not going to give any context to that statistic. So I'll be on standby.
Thank you so much.
Let me just clarify something. The FBI is arrest. It's not conviction. So you can't actually base your status off of that. I debunk white tea people and black men that are self-hating off of this goddamn thing all the time. So I'm going to need you to show us different statistics.
See, I'm literally pulling up statistics, but you're even not even like you're arguing.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. What statistics do you have, Brandon? I'm
pulling it up now because they're saying that they don't want to see. I guess somebody said they didn't want to see the arrest or the convictions.
Hold on. No. But he said that even in the FBI, when it talks about like how many black people get arrested, they're arrested more, but they're not that many convictions, as well as we have the most exonerations, which means that we are being convicted wrongly more than any other demographic as well, even though we're just at 13%. But that is what he was saying. But when I'm saying, and they also talk about proximity. Yes, you can say that black people are violent to other black people, but guess white people are also violent to other white people. Proximity.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
Right. I'm saying that black people are more. I'm saying like when it comes to black women, you said that you feel like they are protected, but I'm saying if they are protected, then why are they even in their 13? Why are they in the leading forefront to be unalived by their partner, their intimate partner, if we are so protected?
Because I'm saying that everyone, the proximity of the person that you're with is more likely to harm you, no matter the gender or race. That's not a specific thing for black women. But then I'm saying that
why are we in the lead though then?
But you're in the lead because black people, I know you don't want to hear this, black people are more prevalent to violence than any other group of people. So it's just, you can't just single one thing out and say,
Tell me why.
I don't know why that is. That's a good question. I'm not trying to be racist, but it's just the truth. Like we are more prone to violence than anyone else.
That's not true though. Have you been raised around a lot of white tea people, or have you been in a lot of white tea communities? Then how do you know that we are more prevalent than them?
Because the statistics bear it out.
Then why
we can go anecdotal too.
But why? If we
can see things like the Zeus Network. We can see things where we see a lot of violence in our community, and it's being perpetuated like no other community that we see. And that's just not being racist. That's just the truth.
I know it's not the truth. Just because it's being pushed to the forefront doesn't make it the main thing. Because if that's the case, then why are white tea people also the majority of serial unalivers or mass unalivings, school shootings, right?
Yeah, but that's a different. But that's not black. But I'm saying like,
do you see people unaliving each other on Zeus Network?
Do you see people like threatening to beat somebody up and threatening to?
I mean, being able to fight and catch a fade
as well, right?
Catching a fade is different from unaliving people. I'm saying like black women, if we are protected by black men, then why are we being unalived by our same black men? Why?
just answered
Hold on.
that
Why?
question.
Okay. Even with this, the whole Megan Thee Stallion and DDG and everything, why are black men coming out to jump out and be like, free Tory, even free Diddy, free DDG? She don't know what she's talking about, or she's lying before they even know anything. Why are black men jumping to that? When even
I just told you.
Go ahead.
Well, we can't just lump them all together. Anyone saying free Diddy, there's something wrong with them.
True.
The free Tory is people like him, and they don't like the fact that his career is pretty much over now.
So why aren't they holding the man accountable for doing the wrong things that he did instead of attacking the black woman?
Because it's like, well, you have black men who, let's say that the DDG and Holly situation. It's just a he said, she said.
Hold on. First of all, let's start with the Tory, because we were talking about that, the Tory and Megan Thee Stallion situation.
Tory, I said Tory Lanez, and people don't like her for whatever reason. She is not like person. Let's just get that out of there. Like, it's not because she's a black woman.
Even if they
I'm
don't,
telling you why this.
But even if you don't like her, is that a reason to say that she should get shot? Is that a reason?
No,
to
it's not a reason. You're right.
But why do even if I could not like somebody, but what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. If I don't like nobody, that don't mean I'm like, oh, free your abuser, free the person who shot you. Like, why do you feel? My thing is, why do you feel like black men did it? Or why do you feel like black men?
I'm trying to tell you what.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm saying that black men are saying this. One, Megan Thee Stallion is not like, black women are saying this too. Not as many, but black women are saying this too. Megan Thee Stallion is not like. Does that make it right that people say
Megan Thee Stallion is not what? I didn't hear you.
Megan Thee Stallion is not like for whatever reason. A lot of people do not like that lady. Like it's quite obvious when you look in the shade room. Okay, that's just it's kind of obvious. Like she's not like any other singer, like any other singer, like. When it comes to Doja Cat or anyone in that group, she's just not, they don't look at her the same way. They have some disdain for her for whatever reason. So when it came to her, I believe that she actually went through what she went through. And the reason why people are picking Tory Lanez's side is because, one, they don't like her. Two, they realize that Tory Lanez's career is over if he doesn't get out of this situation. And three, Tory Lanez is well liked. So there is bias there, unfortunately. I'm not going to tell you there's not, but I'm saying that just because this happens, it's not this whole story of people don't like black women.
Okay, so hold on. Because they like Tory Lanez and they want to hear his music, he should get out of jail for shooting somebody else in their foot because they don't like her.
Some people believe that, yes. That sounds effed up. I know it is.
Why do you feel like a lot of black men like that?
Because they feel like they come from a culture where whatever happens, you don't go to the police.
She didn't go to the police.
That's the culture we come from.
She didn't go to the police. That's what I'm saying about black women. We will sacrifice and try to save, black men, and they'll still throw you under the bus because not only did she lie and say it wasn't a bullet, she said she stepped on glass so that they wouldn't look into it. Two, she also said she did not want to press charges. But when the doctor pulled out bullet fragments, they picked up the case and they charged him themselves and subpoenaed her to come and testify. So she did the thing that we all believe, right? Where you say the black man, and they still threw her.
I did, but
he still threw her under the bus.
I agree with what you're saying, but I don't think that's indicative of society not liking. Like, people will defend effed up people if they like them. We all see this before. We've all seen people defend R. Kelly when we all knew what he did 20 years ago. Like, people do this nonsense, but between both genders. But if you like someone or feel like, you want to continue hearing their music, people will turn blind eyes and exceptions. That's between any race, any gender. So
I think that they don't like Megan Thee Stallion because they most likely cannot be with her. She's not only is she a top artist, she's doing whatever she wants. She graduated from college while she was on tour. Not only that, she is one of the few independent artists that own her own fucking masters, while their favorite rapper is wrapped up in a 360 deal, acting like they got the money that they don't have. And she actually gets to recoup her actual money. She has her own production company where she can shoot her own videos and recoup that money as well. So I think it's the intimidation and want to bring a black woman down, because if we see that, as other black women will aspire aspire to be better. We'll aspire to live even more authentically in ourselves and do whatever the fuck we want to do, learn even more, and make better business decisions, while men are laying down. Back to the Empty Man podcast's point, is that the man who has the nurse who's traveling, instead of him upping to the occasion to make more money and be inspired, he chooses to eat a Whopper.
I don't understand how those two things relate, but okay.
Lord, I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt, but I got
you. I just want to make sure I grab the couple of people before you. Brandon, give me 1 second, because I do want to come back to. I just want to allow a couple of people to chime in. Courtney, what did you want to add to that? And first of all, also too, over on YouTube, Abs and Wisdom, thank you for being in the chat. And I'm going to read your comments here in a second. Go ahead, Courtney.
Jess, thank you again for letting me into your space. I know that's kind of like a very sensitive topic. You know, Black women are protecting their spaces. That's just me coming from a Black woman. So I just want to, say I appreciate you. Number one, when we raised the topic, somebody asked a question about an hour ago. That's how long protection actually mean? What does protecting Black women actually mean? When we talk about protecting Black women, the first thing that comes to mind is just the physical aspect of protection, shielding somebody from, a shot or a stab. But when you really take a step back and you look at what are all of the components that we try to assess when we talk about protecting Black women, we're not just talking about the physical aspect. We are talking about, the consideration of what Black women actually, what's important to them. Even if you're in a committed relationship, protecting with Black women means that we're protecting their time, we're protecting their space, we're protecting their energy. That means that we consider things that are important to them. We are considering that if they are wasting their time or not. We are considering that if they look at us and they see something in us that they would like to aspire to be with for the next 30, 40, 50 years. So it's not just a matter of, are you willing to step in front of me if somebody is holding a weapon out in front of me? It is about when we are at home in the comforts and the protection and privacy of our homes. Are you willing to protect my thoughts as I express them to you? Are you willing to sit down and be quiet long enough to hear me out as I express to you all of the things that you do to hurt me over and over again? And not only will you hear me, will you put action behind the words when you say you hear me, and you'll do better, and I'll begin to see them. So that is what it means to protect Black women. Furthermore, when we get to Brandon and he talks about, and the question is brought up, and you acknowledge his presence, and he says that he doesn't like the topic because it's misleading. It's not misleading. Why don't Black males protect Black women? Black males tend to not protect Black women only because it's a projection of their insecurities within themselves, because we as Black men have abandoned our position as the head of our community. We as Black men have opened up the windows and the front doors to allow the footsteps of white supremacy to enter our homes and dictate to us what is and what is not important, whether it be by law, whether it be by media, whether it be by influence of or aspirations for money and power. We aspire to be like white men. So when I say on my platform all the time that Black men give white supremacists a run for their money, I mean it. Because for you to sit here, for any man to sit here and tell me they are willing to waste over a decade and a half of a Black woman's life so that she can sit at home and wait on them to pop the question, that means that you are not only Black man. That means that you are willing to sit here and waste the time for a Black woman and just dismiss and remove the importance of her time. You refusing, it's not an inability. It's not that you are unable. It is the refusal to remove yourself and decenter yourself and center the Black woman that you have been with for over a decade and say, you know what, I love you. But because I don't have what you want, because I am not willing to make that commitment. And I'm okay with how I feel, but I'm not okay with how you feel, because I know you want something more than what I'm willing to offer. I got to let you go. And I'm crying in the car with my car packed and my trunk packed with my shit, and I'm driving off. But because I love you more than that, I'm driving off. And I hope that you meet somebody that is willing to pop that question after 2 or 3 years of being with you, because I love you that much. But I got to see you go because I want something more from you.
I want something more for you. That is the protection of Black women. When we get to the assault on the Black community, because Brandon just opened up the floodgates when he talked about Black people being more innately, that is a myth. Because when we look at the quantitative, now see, Brandon, I'm about to sit here. I'm about to tell you something. There is something called qualitative. There is something called qualitative. There's something called qualitative and quantitative data. And qualitative, underneath that umbrella, is where we look at anecdotal. So that we look at the stories, we look at what has happened and transpired through history. Quantitative is when we look at numbers, we look at percentages, okay? When we look at what has happened throughout history, there's only one demographic that has touched every corner of the globe, and everywhere they have stepped have left disease and famine and sexual assault and unalivings all over the planet, and it's not Black people. So when you want to come here and talk about Black people being inherently violent and it being persistent and prevalent in 2025, I want you to take a hard step back and look at what demographic has been consistent throughout the centuries and millennia of time and have demonstrated to the public what it means to be violent and what it means to be the face of violence. Because when we look at Black people and we talk about the myth of, Black incarceration rates reflect higher in the community. No, mass incarceration is driven by bias laws and practices such as mandatory minimums, 3-strike laws, racial profiling, school to prison pipelines. So when we're talking about all of those things, let's not talk about what demographic is inherently violent or how we fill up the jail cells. We have to look at how this is systemically been planted and structured so that it does fast track our community to those prison cells. And then when they get there when they're arrested, when they're arraigned, when they meet the judge, and then when they're sentenced, when they're in the jail cells, and then later on, oh man, my bad, you spent 30 or 40 years. Hey, listen, that's my fault. You know what? That's on me. That's on me. You ain't do it. That's my bad. How many times does that happen? But they don't quantify that data. So I'm going to need you, Brandon, to retract what you said, because everything that you said as it pertains to how our community is inherently violent is absolutely 100% unfactual, and you are not going to disprove me in this life, or the next life. And I yield back.
Thank you so much.
Can I show my stats or no?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
No, because I just disproved you.
No, you didn't.
I just want to know,
like,
like, how many times do you see Black people unaliving people in droves, like in a mass unaliving, hanging people from trees, eating people while they're hanging from said trees, storing them, beating them, unaliving them, graping them. Like, when it comes to even baby mamas and baby daddies, it starts with the white tea people. They was the first baby daddies when they were graping our grandmothers, our great grandmothers, and just leaving them with babies. When their wives or their children are also too being fed by one of their baby mamas. So there's no way we can even be the ones who are more inherently violent. We didn't storm the Capitol, losing it, feces on the wall, doing just savagery stuff. We didn't do all of that. So I digress. Now, Brandon, you have your statistics that you want to like?
Yes. Do you want me to pull up on the screen, or do you just give you the website? Okay.
Oh, you give me the website. What you got?
UCR.FBI.gov.
UCR.FBI.gov.
Table 49.
Go ahead.
It's gonna be table 49. I noticed that by the back of my heart. Like, I really know.
It literally shows
you. No. Hold on.
I'm literally just talking. Like.
Hold on, just let him go. UCR. FBI?
Yeah, it literally shows the percentage of crime breakdown. Like what we don't understand is when they are perpetrators.
I'm sorry. Can I get where you are? I went to UCR.fbi.gov. Now,
UCR.fbi.gov. It says crime in the United States is a 2019 study. Well, not a study, actual.
Is it the historical publications through 2019?
Yeah, no, it's showing 2019. I can show you a more recent one, but I thought COVID was going to be kind of not showing the real.
Just for TikTok.
Yes. C19. I'm sorry.
Somebody's whispering my name. Okay, hold on. Is this it?
Yes.
This is what he wants you to see.
Okay, and then what am I looking at?
The back of my hand.
Yeah, a statistic that's showing you how it's proving my point. Other than the appeal to emotion, the last speaker just did.
Okay.
No,
okay.
you talking about?
Hold on, 1 second. Hold on, 1 second. Do I scroll?
Real fast, and I'm gonna drop out real fast.
Go ahead.
We do not use UCR coding anymore. You're talking to somebody that reports to them. We don't use that anymore. We use NIBRS. So we want to go to NIBRS. We want to go to that, then we can talk about that. But it's gonna be 59.1% violent crimes are committed by white people. 45% of that is black people. I report on that. And I just left a conference in Miami doing that this weekend. So again, we don't use UCR anymore. We don't use UCR anymore, sir. We use NIBRS. So that's
you just proved my point.
Well, okay, what is the point?
If you just sat here and said 51% of white people commit crime and 45% of black people, how many black people are in this country?
I didn't say 51%. I said 59.1% of violent crimes
is committed by white people, right?
By white people.
And you said how many is committed by black?
45%.
And how much percentage of the country is black?
We're going off percentage. We're not going off we're not going off their amount. Going off percentage.
It makes too much sense.
But you like what?
And so hold on, it's two. And it's two violent crimes as well, right?
Yeah, we can even use his data. It proves my point. And he doesn't even know how.
Exactly.
So you're saying that? Go ahead.
If black people make up 13 to 14% of the population, and he just said they're doing 45% of violent crimes, while white people make up what? I think 40% or 50%. I'm not sure. 59. And they're doing what you said, 59% of the crime. Then per capita, we commit more crime.
When the arrests are made, that's what they're being charged. That's where the quantitative data is being collected. So when you're talking about somebody being arrested for DV or somebody being arrested for SA or somebody being arrested for battery or whatnot, that is the arrest. That is where the quantitative data is being collected. But when we factor in the exonerations of someone not even committing that crime, see, that's the part where all of y'all leave out. That's the part of that's the context that you continuously leave out, and that is a white supremacist talking point.
You do know exonerations are more likely for drug, but let me finish because you're saying something you don't know what you're talking about. You're talking about exonerations.
You're saying something. You just told us.
For drugs. That is for DRUG. That's not for violence. You just
tried to explain to everybody that black people are inherently racist because we're only 13% of the population.
I never said that.
You said inherently violent.
Yes, you just did.
I didn't say they're inherently violent.
You said, hold on, what did you say? You just said that they're inherently violent. That's the thing.
You said that earlier. Yes, you did.
I said, no. I said in this country, black people are inherently commit more crime. They commit more violent crimes.
No,
that's not inherently violent.
No. It's not because something's in our. It's not because something is in our DNA that makes us violent. That's not what I'm saying. So you're hearing what you want to hear.
Okay,
I never said that
because you know there's no data to support. There's no scientific data to support your claim that you made about 45 minutes earlier.
That it was.
Okay, Brandon, you're saying that black people inherently are more violent, but it's not because they're black.
No, yes, they commit more crimes. That's statistically, that's what it is. You can't get around that. It's not because we are black and we just angry and all that. That's not what that is. I'm not saying that, but people don't want to let me finish my point. Okay. There's something else going on in our community where we just, like I talked to Zanelle Live earlier, like people who are young, when your grandmother hits you or slaps you in the mouth, it seems to be culturally acceptable in our society to do that. Then we look at the white folks and be like, well, why y'all just not do it? Like we do certain things in our community where violence isn't a big deal. And that's why we need to stop. It's not because we are inherently violent.
You're conflating two scenarios.
I'm really not, bro.
Now,
Brandon, pay attention to my screen, Brandon. Like I said, I do this for fun. I do this for fun. You made the bullshit lie that, oh, it's usually for shrugs. No, we're 7.5 times more likely to be wrongfully convicted of a murder. And that number increased when the victim happens to be white. So again, you might not want to do this conversation. I only came up here to talk about men not protecting black women. But if you want to go down this route, I'm willing to bet you $1,000 that you will not win this.
Bro, you don't understand.
$1,000 will be going to I'm Jessica Simone's Cash App and or Venmo.
If someone is unalive, if someone's unalive in their community, let's say the South Side of Chicago, there ain't no white man that did it. So that's
Brandon.
Hold on. Why do you think that? Why
would there be one?
Hold on.
Why would someone be like what Jesse Smollett said? Why do you think that's more likely to happen? Why do you believe that a society or a part of the country which is 90% black, like the South Side of Chicago, whatever it is, some white team man will come in there and unalive your community?
Who did you vote for in November, bro?
Bro, it doesn't matter. I don't care. I'm not going to.
No.
No, we're not going to deflect about.
Okay. Hold on, Brandon.
We're not holding other black men accountable.
Brandon.
Who did you vote for in November?
Hold on 1 second, everybody. Everybody, please. Give me a second. Let's just reset, level set. Give me a follow if you guys are not done. So please continue to tap the screen. Let's get to 100K. Thank you guys for all the follows. I appreciate it. Again, always the best way to support the lives via Cash App and or Venmo. I'm Jessica Small. Also, too, if you send a message with said donation, we will definitely read it out in case you have a question for the panel as well. And then also, too, I think we have 15 more bouquets in our gift goal at the moment. If you like what the panel is saying, please show them some love as well. I just want to say thank you. Tonight we are talking about why don't black males protect black women. And then I have a question for Brandon. There were 2 twins that were found unalived in Georgia. And there was also 2 truck drivers that were found hanging from a tree in North Carolina. Do you think white people did that?
That's anecdote. It may be a bit of white person.
It's not an anecdote when you find a black guy who's unalived in Chicago. And I'm asking you, what do you feel about the 2 truck drivers on different instances, an hour away from each other, that were found hanging in a tree? Do you think a black guy did that too?
I'm saying that, yes, that happens. And I'm saying it is way more likely for a black person to die in the South Side of Chicago with gangs of rights.
Do you feel like a black person did that? Do you feel like the black person hung them?
Yeah. I mean, if a white person did it, I don't know the story. I don't know it. But I'm saying
you don't know a story about a black person dying in Chicago.
I do. I can name you a bunch of stories of that.
When you brought the scenario up, it didn't have a story. You just said if a random guy is unalived in Chicago, you assume that he's black. So I'm asking you, why do you assume that? Just because black people are there?
Because you're more likely to be murdered by someone who's in your area that looks like you. That's just facts. You're more likely to be murdered by someone who looks like you and that's in your area. Not all the time.
So a white guy in Calabasas was probably unalived by another white guy.
In Calabasas, yes. More than likely, yes.
So what does it has to do with black males protecting black women?
You literally just said in the beginning that black women experience more violence than any other group of women. I agree with you. I'm saying that violence is a problem within our community. Black women actually commit more violence than any other group as well.
What? Hold on. No.
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell
any other group of women?
Hold on 1 second. Because I think when I ever even got into politics, it was about debunking misinformation and disinformation. Where do you find you saying that black women commit more violence than black men?
No.
You said black women
violence. I misspoke then.
Okay.
I said black women commit more violence than any other group of women in the society. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying
and where do you get that information from too?
Look it up.
No, where did you find it? Tell me where to go.
FBI.
FBI. What's the name of the FBI? FBI.gov. What's the name of?
All right, let me go look it up for you because y'all don't seem to believe it.
49
I do not. I do not.
FBI don't even use no more.
So, but my thing is, even with this, why do you feel like black men aren't protecting black women?
Why do I feel like what?
Why do you feel like black males do not protect black women?
I'm saying they do when it comes to women who they're closer with, like their mothers and sisters and daughters and friends that are women. Yeah, they will. But in society as in general, as a society in whole, no.
Why?
Because
we
live in a society where we're pushing back on this patriarchal thing, and men are this and that, and men need to do this and that. This is why this stuff is going the way it is. Like, we live in a society where, to be honest, men can't tell women to do anything. And if men can't tell you to do anything, why do we feel like the need to be your protectors? We want us to have.
Wait, hold on.
What is it that you want to tell? What is it that you want to tell women?
If men can't tell women how to dress in public places, what to wear on the top of their head, or
hold on. Why do hold on?
Who's the adult here?
I know. Hold on 1 second. Why do you feel the need to control what women wear on their head and on their bodies? What do you want them to wear on their head, Brandon?
Yeah, I was muted. Like, why?
Yeah, please do not mute anybody, you guys.
Thank you. I appreciate that, host.
No problem.
You're right. You're exactly right. Then why do you need our protection? It's like you can't have one without the other.
Hold on.
Yes.
Hold on. Yeah.
That's just
hold on. So in order to get protection from men, we need to allow them to tell us what to wear on our head and on our bodies.
No. In order to get protections from men, you must somewhat respect the man's authority. So if a man tells you not to go down there, and you go down there, and something happens to you, don't expect the man to come down there, risk his life, and after you listen to it, after you told him you can't tell me what to do 10 minutes ago. That's what we're talking about.
Well, hold on. Why is it equated to going? Okay, hold on. You first started off with you can't tell them what to wear. What do you want to tell women what to wear?
I'm saying in general. I'm saying that if a man tells you to do anything at all, it's like you can't tell me you know what. If that's the case, that's fine. But don't be wondering why society is going where it is, where men all of a sudden now we have our gender roles. Men have to do X, Y, and Z. We're like, no, F that. If you don't do your gender role, why would I do mine?
Okay.
Like if you want to destroy patriarchy altogether, let's destroy this shit.
But Brandon, hold on, real quick, hold on. But Brandon, in terms of like gender roles and what's being defined as a relationship and responsibilities in the relationship, that's kind of like we can see a change in that. We can see that, there are some Black women who do go to work and they prefer that, because there are some Black households, and I know very successful Black households where the father takes care of absolutely everything. We may have a high-powered attorney that's married to a Black woman that's married to a Black man, but he takes care of the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, he takes care of the house. He makes sure the bills are paid. And we're kind of like redefining what in terms of what is gender specific about roles and who inputs and contributes to a relationship. Now, if you want to put a rubber stamp on what you believe should be assigned to someone's gender in terms of their responsibilities in a relationship, that's on a you basis. But we can see that, kind of transforming as society continues to, evolve over time.
Yes, but I'm saying in terms of relationship, it's different because yes, women are working more. And so she has more say in the house. Let's say if her job wants to move her out somewhere else. In the old days, where the man go, that's where he go. But if she's making more, then okay, I'm gonna go with my wife. That's what I'm saying. Within a relationship is different, but I'm talking about society as a whole. Men can't tell women to do anything in society. It's frowned upon no matter what it is. Men have none, and that's what you want. That's okay, but don't expect us to uphold some gender role from hundreds of years ago, 50 years ago, where men had to do this. Men had to do X, Y, and Z. If you don't have to do X, Y, and Z, men are gonna be like, why do I have to do X, Y, and Z? That's not.
But we see that playing out in today because we see that Black men that come out here and they make these babies and they abandon. Now the Black woman is forced to be the protector. They're forced to be the provider. They are forced to be the caregiver because the Black man has abandoned us. We have to acknowledge that. Now, Mr. Podcast down here made a claim earlier that Black people don't acknowledge the violence. It's not a simple matter of not acknowledging the violence. We acknowledge the violence as a Black community. We acknowledge that we do need to have continued dialogue as it pertains to the violence in our community. But what we're not going to refer it to is Black on Black violence, because if not, there's no such thing as Black on Black violence. Because if you would claim it as Black on Black violence, you would also have to acknowledge white on white violence. You would have to acknowledge Latino on Latino violence. You would have to acknowledge much every other demographic, violence on violence. It's called proximity crime. So you did have a point that I agreed with, but when you tried to, when you clearly stated over an hour ago that Black people are inherently violent, that is strictly from the white supremacy talk.
Yeah,
and there's no, there is. You did say it, man. I'm not going to put no. I'm not going to put something.
If I said it,
but there's no hold on. There's no scientific data that you are going to find that proves that Black people are more inherently racist than any other demographic on the planet. You're not going to be able to find it. And if you want to refer to something being anecdotal, because you're like, oh yeah, that's anecdotal. That's anecdotal. It's not. When you make the claim, Brandon, every time somebody has raised a valid point as it pertains, or somebody is in dissent of your opinion as it pertains to Black people and the notion of them being violent, which is inherently violent, which is a myth, you have dismissed it with, oh, that's just anecdotal. That's anecdotal. It's anecdotal, and it can be supported with qualitative data. It can be supported with historical fact. It can be supported with numbers. So I'm lost as to like why you are going out of your way to sustain your notion that Black people are inherently violent more than any other demographic, because that simply is not historically factual. It's not.
Yeah, let me respond to this. Like, when
and then after you respond, I want to hear from Malika.
I'm gonna drop. Okay. Thank you for having me, Jess.
Oh, cool. Well, we love to have your all your expertise.
Yeah, y'all take care. Bye.
hold on, Courtney. Let me drop you. Oh, damn. Go ahead. Brennan, I want to hear your response. And then Malika, I want to hear from you. Thank you so much for your patience.
Yeah, again, when I was saying Black people are inherently violent, I didn't mean like in their genes there's some type of thing that makes them crash out or do something crazy. I'm saying right now in 2025, they're more likely to harm other Black people than any other group in our country. They're more likely
Black people?
Yes, they are. They're more likely to be abusive. They just are.
Hold on one second. You said, I'm sorry, Brandon. My apologies, Brandon. I didn't hear the beginning of your statement. I was reading one of the comments on YouTube. Thank you guys for being there. Please hit the thumbs up button if you are there. Could you repeat that one more time?
I'm saying that when I said earlier that Black people are inherently more violent, I'm not saying that it's some genetic mutation or they can't control it. I'm saying right now, even way back before in 1920s, we were not like this in the 1920s or the 30s or the 40s or the 50s. I'm talking about right now. We harm each other at a higher rate than anyone else harms each other in their community. That's what I'm saying. And the statistics bear it out. You don't like it, I don't know what to do with you. It is what it is. It's not because we are inherently something messed up, because we didn't used to do this before. Something has happened where we're doing this now. Other Black people who come from Africa, who are like immigrants, they don't do this. So it's not about us being Black. It's not about our genes. It's about something that is happening in our society, in our culture, that we seem to don't care about other people's life in the way that we should.
What do you think it is?
It could be a multitude of reasons. It could be religion is like kind of escaping us a little bit. It could be the fact that we believe that when we are younger, like I said before, this is just me guessing. I don't have any data on this. But like I'm saying, like when you see your grandparents, they hit you or slap you, we say, okay, that's whatever. And after a while, we think that if someone doesn't do what we want to, it's okay to just hit them or slap them. We
so
think
what about when white people hit their kids?
But we don't. We kind of make fun
I'm asking you why. What do you think white people hit their kids too? So what do you think that
I'm saying that as a culture, we look at white tea people and say, man, their kids be acting a fool. They don't even hit them. They just send them to timeout. We make fun of them for that. And that could be a thing that we should. Yeah, but most of them, but not all of them. I'm saying that
it's also too propaganda, because I'm literally watching a true crime story about this white tea lady who not only was, she was doing her kids wrong, but the next door neighbor's kids, she had them in the basement. They'll lock them in the basement. They'll chain them to their room. They won't even feed them.
And those people will come out to be mass unalivers, right? Because they that messed up. But right. I'm saying that I'm saying
like even like a good like 80% of mass unalivers and serial unalivers are white tea. So that means something is going on in their childhood as well, right?
Yes, I agree. I'm not saying
that we're not the leading cause of that. But I get what you're saying in regards to yeah, you know, I could do, but I don't, because it's proximity. There's always going to be some bad apples. There's always going to be some people to do something. We're just the ones that get pushed to the front, like it's always us. You know, when it's like this black guy, this black thug, this, that, and the other. Chicago is so bad you can't even go out, and you know, it's this, that, and the other. And they also provide money to kids and or rappers to perpetuate this type of rhetoric, so that we are being fed it all the time. So we have the rhetoric, the thought process that you have. But when white tea people do it, it's mental health. They don't post it on the news. They don't talk about it. I bet I didn't even know Scott Jenkins was doing bribery for badges until he got pardoned from Donald Trump. They don't put their wrongdoings out on Front Street. That's how I know Jesus was black, because they would never torture and humiliate their own in front of everybody. They never do it.
You don't think
it's propaganda for us to. They want you to feel like that, Brandon.
But the statistics show that I'm right. I'm not saying it's not because it's propaganda. I'm saying that they literally, people who are like Young Thug, who's in Atlanta Rico, the people who are making millions of dollars and still doing this nonsense, and they're influencing kids' minds. It's like, I don't want to talk about that.
No,
it affects people. So when you have these rappers
hold on. But this is the thing, Brandon. You're negating the fact that people like who own Sony, who own all of these record labels, who give them the money and talk about how, and they even the rappers have talked about how they have to talk about certain things to influence our culture. So when they have this rap music and telling us to do this, that, and the other, they're getting paid to do that. So especially black men, because it's mostly black rappers that have to stop selling their souls out and perpetuating this to black men, which Meek Mill has also spoke about it as well.
And the black man who stopped doing that, they should be commended. And the black man who continue to do it, they should
which
be
black man stopped doing, as in rappers, which black man, except for Kendrick Lamar, and he never really talked about all of that. Which black rapper stopped doing it?
No, I'm just saying in general. I'm saying
which black rapper stopped doing it.
I'm saying if a black rapper doesn't stop doing it, he should be criticized.
That means all of them, right?
Then yes, all of them, yes.
Who's your favorite rapper?
What do you mean who's my favorite rapper? I mean, it doesn't matter. It's like,
okay, who you listen
Drake.
to?
I mean, I like Drake because he has probably the best body work of all
My
time.
thing is, Drake even talk about doing the same thing, and he has never even been in those situations. So for him to perpetuate such violence to our community, not even knowing the detriment it has to our community, as well as not even ever experienced such altercations, is colonization, dehumanization to our, and it's the fucking problem. But give me 1 second. I told Malika I would definitely under here for her. I appreciate your patience. Give me 1 second, Brandon. We're gonna come right back to you. I just want her to be able to chime in. Malika, how are you doing tonight? Drake. Okay. Okay, but anyways, go ahead.
I am great. You are so beautiful.
Thank you, Queen. I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you being up here. I am really humbled to be up here. I'm listening and my mind is just blown aback. You have the courage to bring this up to the forefront. But
we have to.
It's kind of overwhelming because they're deviating from your main point. Mm-hmm. We can speak on societal issues. We can go back and forth on statistics. Your question was, why are the black men not protecting the black women? That's the only thing I really care to speak
Thank you.
on.
I would love to hear about it and get back on that too.
I have a marital group, and we deal with black men and black women all day long. And what I see is, from my humble eyes, is they do not value us. Mm-hmm. A lot of black men do not see the value in black women anymore. When you said that the black men were harming or unaliving other black women, and he said that blacks are inherently more violent. I'm like, well, it's not that way when they're in biracial relationships. You don't really hear about them having whatever it takes for them to take their frustration out to unalive a black woman on other other races. So
I know some of these white tea women be unaliving the black men, but that's all
left and right.
That's left and right. Getting off, but that's all
right. It's just, for me, we are very devalued. We are the only race of women where it is, we have to be holding you down, or taking care of you or ride or dies or sponsoring your business or carrying your bags. We have to be your mother, your lover, your teacher, your best friend, your children. We have to be all roles for us to be even acknowledged, not alone valued. We have no value if they cannot find some type of compensation off of us. You know, if they can't come up off of us in some way, why would you want to ride our backs to get anywhere? I think a lot of men, not all of them, a lot of Black men have the roles mixed up. I see a lot of men wanting women to chase them.
They think they the prize.
They think they are the prize.
They worried about being the prize and not being the winner. Oh,
exactly. And it's not, and it's so hurtful. And I'm really just emotional because these men are not the same. Some of the women are not the same, but I think we need to go back. I'm old school. So I'm like, the men are the heads. You claim to be the heads, right? You're the heads with a neck. You cut off the head, the body dies. So you put all this responsibility on the woman. You put everything is our fault. Where do you stand? Where do you stand? We come from your side. We come from your rib. That's what they tell us. And if you bend a rib too much, it'll break. That's our femininity. So when you ask, why should you be protecting us? It's crazy to me. It is insane. You are built to protect. You are built to provide. You are built to do all the things you may negate, not want to do, overlook, make excuses not to do. That is your role. And you don't leave or abandon your role simply because you don't think somebody else is living up to it or living up to their role. You still be a man. You don't stop being a man because you don't think she's being feminine. Then that kind of makes you feminine. So there's just an issue with me, and it goes even in marriage. When you speak of people being married and you say, well, she ain't cooking, she ain't cleaning, so I ain't paying the bills. How that work? How does that work? How do you stop being a man because you feel she's not a woman? Your job is to cultivate the household. And if you're not built to do so, then leave. But you know what? That's what they do anyway. But that's a whole different other story. That's a whole different other story. But sometimes the best way to be a man is simply by letting that woman be a woman. Let her live in her femininity. But if she's making as much money as you're making, and then you don't want to cook, but she's been working 8 hours, you've been working 8 hours, and you don't want to meet her halfway, then you're talking about 50-50. And all this other garbage. I mean, you have to pick your battles. What do you want? Do you want a mate? Do you want a spouse? Do you want a friend with benefits? Are you not able to ask? The worst question you could ask me is, what do I bring to the table? If you invite me to a table, you should have it prepared for me. You should have it prepared for me. I've never invited someone to my house
to an empty table.
Ask them what they bring. So when you ask a woman into your household, and then you don't even think enough of her to give her your last name, that means a lot. That says a lot. If you could spend a whole lot of time with me, years, decades, whatever, with me, and not give me your last name, and just disregard making me what they call an honest woman. Is that what they call it in biblically a long time ago? That says a lot, but they don't value us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's all I had to say. It's hurtful, but that's it.
I appreciate it. First of all, can I get some W's and coconuts in the chat for Malika? Because you really just cooked like double fried chicken, okay? Crunch. You bite that shit, it's seasoned. Very delicious. The Empty Man podcast. I know you've been there. I just wanted to oh shit no! Courtney! Drop some motherfucking coconuts for Courtney who just dropped it. Hold on, I got a sound for that one. What are you talking about? I got a sound for that one. Hold on. Oh my God. Y'all, try some coconuts for Courtney and Malika in the chat. Okay. What are you talking about? I was looking, I said. What the hell? Hey, Vivian. What the hell y'all saying? What the hell? What the hell? Okay. My apologies. Go ahead, Mr. Podcast. I did want you. Did you want to chime in and add anything to that too?
Yeah, I just want to. I think you missed the point of my whole Burger King story. It just went over everybody's head.
Okay, go ahead.
My whole point was that this woman, she's making all the money, right? She was belittling my man, and there's no excuse to cheat, but she was giving the energy like she's got everything under control. So when a man feels he's not needed, he feels valueless. And I'm just telling you the truth. That's just our nature to feel wanted, to have to, well, you can shake your head all you want to. That's our nature. You know, that's
a human nature. I think anybody wants to feel wanted.
Right. So when you act like you have everything under control, I'm just saying that man will lose a lot of interest. And my second point is, I'm not Team Tory or anything like that. But what made me raise an eyebrow about the situation was the immunity that Kelsey got. Do you know what people get immunity for? Tell me what you think people get immunity for.
Dayton, what do people get immunity for?
Self-incrimination.
What?
Protection against self-protection against that. But go ahead.
Okay, so like, why would her friend receive immunity in a situation when she's simply a witness to a crime?
I can explain that.
No, please do.
Of course. Now, if you're a witness to a crime, okay, and you failed to report said crime, and that crime happened while you was there, and again, you failed to report said crime, or you aided someone in hiding or preventing said crime to be reported, you can be charged. So, and in regards to this particular case, from what I read up when it happened, it didn't get reported right then when it happened.
Okay, sir. Can you give me an example?
Hold on one second.
I was trying to give you
a second.
Back up on it, but I guess I'll let him ask another question. Go ahead.
Give me an example of something similar that's ever happened in history like that, where a person has failed to report a crime and they had to get immunity so they won't be charged. Give me an example.
Oh, I can give you one right now, and you can look this one up. It was a bank robbery here where I work at, and the young lady was actually driving the baby father to do said crime. Okay. Now, she wasn't aware of the fact that he was going to do said crime.
Which one?
When he came back out of said bank, he had a lump sum of money, and they went home and they did what they did with the money. Okay. She later on called police and directed them to where the boyfriend was at. My unit, which handles robbery and everything like that, we bring this young lady in, and she was offered through our district attorney immunity because even though she wasn't accessory to the crime before, she was accessory to the crime afterwards. So yes, she was offered immunity to testify to say that these things happen. That's the example, sir.
First of all, Nate, Naquan, you gotta
like
ask Oya, and I need a confirmation from her. Go ahead, Empty Man.
So anyway, that looked very funny to me for a person to be given needing immunity when
you would have to talk to y'all about that. She thank you for the $50 dono that says that baby drop the black guy. He's a trick, and my trick said not on this Black Queens panel. Everyone say thank you, Pig Jim. I'm fucking hollering. Drop some coconuts for all y'all for the $50 dono. I appreciate you.
Whenever people come up and they talk law and things of that nature, it kind of gets to me because you're giving your opinion. All I can give you is fact. So you giving your opinion, you know. So and so when I hear these people come up and say, "Well, that don't sound right," it might not sound right to you, but it's fact. That's what happened.
Yeah.
So when I hear the young man talking about the stats and everything like that, he was pretty much accurate on a lot of things he was saying. But
he was not accurate at all.
No, he was.
No, he wasn't.
He was.
No, let me ask you a question.
Hold on. One second. I promise. I'm gonna let you have your time, and I'm definitely going to make sure that you're able to speak. Go ahead.
Listen. So again, how before I was cut off, with the back part of it is that you have to look at the totality of facts, as well as that every police municipality do not report to the FBI because nobody is required to do so. It's a volunteer act. And the leading states that do not report, which is part of my conference this weekend in Miami, is that the red states are the leading states who failed to report to the FBI because they don't have to. Reporting crime stats is voluntarily. It's not something that has to be done. So our number one breaker of that is Texas, followed by Florida, Arkansas. These states do not report in a totality like the other states do, who happens to be, other states. I won't put the color out there, but you get where we're going there with this.
So you're telling me that if white teen men are making or committing more crimes, they don't have to report that?
No.
Okay.
They don't have to report to the FBI. They don't have to report to the FBI.
Mm-hmm.
And we're finding out as time go on, we're finding out that these things are being purposed, like Georgia. Georgia got investigated a few years ago because a town outside of Augusta wasn't reporting crimes where the perpetrator was white. And that was done in an effort to minimize the crime that's being committed there and to wean out black people from moving to the said town. So again, when people throw out these FBI stats, you gotta understand these are minor statistics that are not actually fact-based because they're not coming from everywhere.
Hey, Dayton, can I ask you a question, Dayton?
Talk to me.
Do you think they understand per capita?
I think they heard somebody use that terminology and they think it sounds sexy. But what it is that it's basically saying that, okay, let's take this little area right here and we're going to do a generalized statistic on this particular area that's going to speak for the whole generalized population there. You can't do that because you're going to have a flawed number every time. Every time.
And fun fact, so per capita, Chicago's not even in the top leading 20 states for dangerous crimes. That's shocking.
Correct.
Well, what's the other cities that are?
Propaganda would have them think that.
What's the other cities that are?
But guess who has them there? But guess who is there? A really small little city called Baltimore.
Yes, the Baltimore is there, but
also
in Memphis.
Fun fact: rural areas, they don't report to the FBI like that. Guess who lives in rural areas? Guess who lives in rural areas?
So you telling me Scott Jenkins, who was giving out, was taking briberies for badges, is not going to report to the FBI?
Yeah. So like Billy Bob Johnson for Pew Pew and his neighbor, it probably never made it to the FBI.
So are you saying New Orleans and Memphis and Baltimore, these cities are not?
Hold on one second, really quick. BYT, I see you over on YouTube, and you said that it's not in a man's best interest to protect women he does not know. It's not always reciprocated. So I asked you, do you want Black women to protect you? Is that what you're asking for? And you said, no, I have a wife, mom, grandmother, and daughter that I'm obligated to protect. I don't know 99% of Black women though. So my question to you is, when your daughter goes out somewhere where you are not, and somebody, no matter what the race is disrespecting her, are you hoping that somebody who's a real upstanding man stands in and protects her from said man from either being raped, kidnapped, disrespected? Because you're not there. That's the thing. A lot of people want to say, I protect my own, but you can't be with your own 100% of the time. And if we are protecting each other, you want to be okay with your daughter, your wife, your mother, your grandmother going out. And if somebody disrespects her, be like, hey, we're not going to disrespect our elders. We're not going to disrespect this young lady. We're not going to disrespect this woman for no fucking reason. Would you want others to look out for yours when you are not around, when you may be at work, when you may be asleep, when you may be fucking? Who's going to look out for your daughter? That's what my question is to you. I can't see your entire name. Give me 1 second. But what is it?
Let me get a bacon, egg, and cheese. What's up, Jessica? Thanks for having me up.
No problem. What's your name? What do you want me to call you?
You can just call me Let.
Let. Okay, so Let, welcome to the chat. I know you got dropped, or you left or disconnected.
Yeah, actually.
Okay, no problem. But welcome back. Thank you for, let me do a quick reset. Thank you for the $10 for don't ever put Louisiana in your mouth. I'll put the grease on you real bad. I don't know why I said it like that. Ask about me, you unemployed, misogynistic, trick ass motherfucker. I don't even know what you're talking to, but somebody got read down, period. Thank you for the $10 donation. Y'all, drop some coconuts for because she been handling this whole goal by herself for the most part. Okay. Thank you for the $10 dono. We are now $40 for today's goal. We appreciate all of the love as well. Can I see some coconuts in the chat though, you guys? Thank you. I appreciate you, Queen. And what was I about to say? Oh, give me a follow if you guys have not done so. Tap the screen. Let's get to 100K. You guys, I'm about to go on a sub-only chat till we get to 100K because I feel like I've been asking for a very, very, very long time. And we just can't get there. And I don't even know how to do it. That's the crazy part. But we'll see. Yes, we have 8 bouquets left in the daily gift goal. Tap the screen to get to 100K. Give me a follow if you're not done so. Subscribe to get access to the Discords, movie nights, voice channels, stickers. Please, if you are a subscriber, drop some of them special stickers in the live stream as well. And thank you guys. Always the best way to support the live is via Cash App and or Venmo, where I get 100% of the donations and the proceeds. I appreciate you. So also continues to keep having these conversations. Let me welcome in. How are you?
I'm well. I'm another day, above earth.
Come on now. Another day, another dollar.
Absolutely.
Come on, Parker's over on the YouTube. Go ahead. My bad.
No, you good. So I think I agree. So I think one of the big things about, Black men protecting Black women, I think we start with debunking and actually pointing out misinformation, right? Mm-hmm. Like, obviously, everyone knows that the talking points of the alt-right. We have 4chan just shut down. Now social media is with 4chan refugees.
I'm sorry, say that again. Your phone kind of went out.
Oh, I'm sorry. So 4chan was like the alt-right sort of main social media website, right? And this 1350 myth is what the alt-right and the Proud Boys and schmazzies love to base their arguments on. This entire argument about BLK people, and I'm sure we could say black mm-hmm. people being inherently racist, or violent, is not only pseudoscience, right? It's based on 1350, which is a myth. The real 1350 is 13% of the Black population account for 53% of the exonerations.
Our
was hold on, sir, because you were up here spewing nothing but nonsense. Okay,
okay, you can go.
Now, if the brother,
we want to be respectful.
Yeah, he has no impulse control. Yeah, he has no impulse control. So everyone knows that FBI UCR data, and I think the brother is a cop. That data is based strictly on arrest. Anybody that understands the arrests and anybody that understands convictions understands you're not guilty of committing a crime until you're convicted. The FBI UCR data tracks arrests. So anybody bringing up, FBI data, and also the brother said Black people commit large majority of the crimes, which the other brother said he doesn't understand what per capita is because white people commit the large majority of the crimes. Actually, excuse me, sir. Excuse me,
Brandon. I promise I'm gonna let you respond right there, and then we'll get into dark matter too. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the entire right wing, and this brother has obviously been brainwashed by the Proud Boys for him to come up on stage and start parroting and saying that arrest equals convictions, because that's what you're saying when you're saying somebody is committing a crime, you're saying that they've been convicted of a crime. And FBI UCR data does not track convictions; it only tracks arrests. So brother, I think you should just like figure out how to interpret data and statistics, or maybe just keep quiet, because the Black community doesn't need you going around perpetuating these harmful stereotypes, right, that we're constantly combating on a day-to-day basis. Mm-hmm. So now people, they count on the fact that people don't understand math and people can't differentiate between cherry picking statistics and what actual facts are. And now they have this inherent bias against all Black people because this brother running around talking about Black people commit all the 50% of the crimes when they constitute 50% of the arrests, not convictions. So that's what I came up to say. This brother doesn't know what he's talking about. And I'm sure he has some sad excuse as to why arrests somehow magically equal convictions. But go ahead, brother.
Yeah, this guy just doesn't know what he's talking about. Again, even the host said originally that Black women experience more violence towards Black men, from Black men, I should say, than any other race.
Yeah, I never debated that.
Yeah. Well, so we agree that Black men are more violent to Black women. But we can't understand. No, I'll let you talk. No.
I'm saying that just proves to the point that Black males are not protecting Black women.
No, but if you make that statement, that's your statement.
I agree, and I do think that proves the point that Black males are not protecting Black women.
But okay, you can agree with that, but the statement still stands that Black women experience more violence from Black men than any other group when it comes to men and women. So I don't understand, why is it stretched to believe that Black men? No. I'll let y'all talk.
No. Let him finish, because I think that's only fair.
Talk.
Thank you, Lynn. Bitch! Get all my girls, y'all. We going on a yacht, bitch. Girl, why your shit? Dayton, let's go, y'all. Drop some coconuts for Dayton in the chat, okay? Drop some coconuts for Dayton in the chat. He said, tell all the girls, especially all your Black women, pack your bags, baby. Don't even worry about it. We'll buy something on the yacht. We'll get some on the shit, bitch. We about to go, yeah. Drop some coconuts. I want to see coconuts. I want to see yachts and coconuts. Thank you, Dayton. I appreciate you. Brandon, go ahead. What you say?
Yeah. But like you said, that Black men or Black women experience.
Get me out of here. It's ghetto here.
But Black women experience more violence from Black men, their partners, in any other group. We understand that, but it's somehow a stretch to not think that other Black men don't experience violence from Black men in any other racial group. This is what I mean. Like, when Black men call something out, you have Black men who are in denial because it hurts their feelings because the white man did this, and the white man, you try to hold other men accountable for their BS, but it's like, well, it's some all racists and the white men are all right and all this other nonsense. I'm not a racist. I didn't vote for Donald Trump. Just because these facts hurt your feelings doesn't make it true. Other groups can perpetuate different crimes too. Yes, religious people like the Catholics do certain things when it comes to pedophilia. They have those problems. The Native Americans do certain things within their group. The Asians do certain things within their group that they do that we don't do as much. But when we talk about Black men doing certain things, or the Black community as a whole, there's always deflection when it happens. There's always, well, we experienced this, that, and the third. When we were more segregated, when we were more oppressed, we did not harm each other as much as we did today. That is a fact.
Hold on one second. Lady Lando, thank you for the $5 dono, dropping it down to $35 on today's dono. Again, you guys, I'm Jessica Simone. I just didn't want to crowd the whole space up with all of that. But thank you guys so much. Johnson Coconuts for Lady Lando. Thank you so much, beautiful. 1 second. Dayton. You wanted to add something, right? If I'm not mistaken. Or did Taylor just put that in the chat and said Dayton next, just
I mean, this guy.
You need to let him go next. I don't know if he's still at his phone though.
Okay.
I mean, this guy doesn't even address my points. He just goes on a rant about like some things that just I didn't even say. I never said anything about any violence, right? You know, or who commits it and who doesn't. What I said was the statistics that you're basing your argument that Black people are this you know, boogeyman of violence. It's based on faulty cherry-picked statistics, and the fact that you can't take accountability, that you don't know what you're talking about, is very indicative of someone who's a man-child. You're a man-child.
Oh yeah, thank you for the $10 dono that says I sent the Galaxy. Please drop Brandon unemployed ass. I'm fucking hollering. Johnson Coconut. Hold on 1 second. I want a second, Brandon. Johnson Coconuts for yeah, in the chat. Thank you for the $10. What I do is I'll put them together. Aliza, thank you for the $5 for the love you, Jess. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And we are down to $20 for the remaining of the goal for tonight. But yeah, I mean, feel free to continuously show love. We always appreciate it. And Dayton, we cannot hear you, so I don't know if you need to drop down and bring you back up. Put a 1 in the chat if that's what you need me to do. We'll definitely do so. Taylor, I'll handle it. Hey, son. I'll put it towards it. I'll put your Galaxy and your $10 together.
Hey, Dayton, try again. I think I just heard you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. You good.
All right, cool. No, Jess, what I wanted to say was that we have to be clear. Well, the young man should be clear when he states these things. He should refer back to always saying and referring to the FBI stats. Because again, we have this proven fact that they are not accurate. They're pretty much a who wants to report situation. That's all. Because I keep hearing all of. You can't say all of when all of is not being actually, contributed to the situation there. And I said in the chat earlier today that we keep saying black men. Those
black males.
Well, let's just say those black males or those black men.
Mm-hmm.
Because protecting a black woman mean physical only. The young man said it earlier when he was up here. It means a lot more. Hearing something negative about a black woman, supporting that black woman, saying things in positive in support of a black woman. Like I see men that will allow another black woman to be talked down in front of them because of whatever reason it is. So that's where we talk about supporting and protecting the black woman. And to say that if you can't do what I tell you to do, I shouldn't be protecting you. That sounds insane. Because what society we live in, that we live in a dictatorship where I get to tell my lady, my fiance, my wife, or whichever three I'm with that day, what to do. So at the end of the day, it's like, what are we doing here? I thought it was teamwork. I thought it was teamwork. So honestly, you can hear ages and you can hear maturity within the things that you listen to being said right now. Because no, I don't want to tell my lady what to do. She ain't gonna tell me what to do. It's a respect thing. We know how to respect each other. Mm-hmm. We know how to go about. So no, I'm not gonna tell her what to do. She's a grown woman. She should know what not to do. So I don't get that part of that. And also,
so where do you become a leader?
Hold on, one second. I got you. 1 second, real quick, Brandon. I got you.
See now, and I'm glad you said that. See, because a leader is whoever you are. You don't become a leader. You are a leader. So now it depends on how you lead. See, again, we're talking about these. See, a leader is somebody that takes responsibility. Okay, the person that actually deals with the issue at hand. Guess what a leader can be? A leader can be you today. It could be your lady next week. When you and I are there, but we are in a partnership. That's what it is, a partnership. Mm-hmm. Okay. So it's not so much that you do everything I say. No, it's a partnership. I don't understand this nonsense. And then you get people saying, well, men this, men that. No, that's the men you're picking. Those are the women you're picking. Mm-hmm. You know, so no, you are part of the problem. So no, it's not that every man is jacked up. If you picked a lot of jacked up men, guess what, baby? You are the problem. Mm-hmm. Simple as that. You're not, you know why you keep rolling the dice, getting a bad man. That's what you're looking for. Mm-hmm. So if you got to come out that arena for what you're looking for, and you may find that good man and that good woman. It goes both ways. So so protecting a woman, in my opinion, is not just putting hands on somebody. It's knowing when to step in and knowing when to step out. That's how you protect a woman.
Yeah, can I respond?
Yes.
Yeah, leadership does not equal partnership. It's literally not the definition of the word. This is what happens when you're indoctrinated by feminist nonsense that's destroyed our community. Leadership tells people, when you're a man and you're a leader, you say to your woman, if she decides to be a woman, this is what we're going to do. If she decides to do it, that's fine. You're leading her. And she decides that the direction where the relationship is going, whether I want to rock with this dude or not, she respects you enough to say, you the person I chose. Yeah, women usually choose a guy who's probably more educated, taller, makes more money, and decide that because he's all these things, I'll put my faith into him and the children I may bear. That's what being a leadership is. You're responsible for that woman, and in turn, she lets you take lead. She's the one that, okay, I'll listen to you, but if we get there and we don't like, some shit gonna change. That's what being a leader is. It's not a partnership. Start with that feminist nonsense y'all been propagating.
There's absolutely nothing feminine about what I said, young fella.
Feminist.
What it is
That's not what a leadership is. Stop making up words.
That's exactly what a leader is. See,
no, it's not.
A leader has to know when to lead. Okay, it's not a leader. Exactly what it's exactly.
A leader always does not know when to lead. Always.
Let me tell you something, brother.
That's how I know.
When I hope, and I'm about to give you a lesson on leadership.
No, you're not giving me any lesson.
Hold on, Brandon.
When I
hold on, real quick.
But I'm going to cut you off.
Yeah, but I hadn't finished the interruption.
Hold on, everybody. Let's have a quick reset. You know, tap the screen, you guys. Let's get up to 150K. If we are not at 150K by 11:30, we're gonna go into a sub-only chat. Also, to give me a follow if you're not done so. Best way to always support the live. We have $20 left in the gift code. It's I'm Jessica Simone for Cash App and Venmo. We have 5 bouquets left for our gift goal. This is giving everybody a chance to be able to kind of like woo-saw just for a quick second. And I just kind of want to add my little tidbit in here before a good leader knows, you know, also knows how to follow, how to communicate with their team, how to take feedback, how to work together. It's not, because nobody is always completely right. And that's why you guys brainstorm together.
Said that.
I didn't say that.
I
didn't. Brandon, give me a chance, because I didn't say that you did say that. I'm saying that no one is always completely right. That's why it's important to talk to your team. That's why it's important to communicate with your team and take their advice. So just because you say you may not wear that, she didn't always have to listen to you, because you may not be right at that moment. And that's why I say it's always good to have conversations. Sometimes it's about knowing when and how to follow as well. So, because a good leader is not always leading, because even if the president, he is a leader, he's the face, but guess what? He's following instructions from some of the generals that he gets. Like, this is the information that we have, and this is what we think you should do. So he may follow their lead on what they think that he should do. It's not always, he just may be the face, but leading is also, being a good leader is also knowing how to be, how to follow, and how to communicate, how to brainstorm, and how to work as a team as well, and also listen to your team.
Yeah, I was gonna
hold on really quick. Oh yeah, thank you for the $5 for says an unemployed man who has never been a leader see real men like that fine chocolate man from New York can definitely tell me what to do in the bedroom. Oh, bitch, I'm fucking hollering. And because I know he has my best interest at heart, hypothetically. Drop some coconuts for all y'all in the chat. We're down to 15 for our goal for tonight. What was I about to say? Brandon, you can respond, and then I want to hear from Dark Matters.
Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't. When I was making my,
mod powers real quick.
You said take your mod powers.
Check them. So if they don't get the likes up to a certain amount, I'm gonna turn the comments off. The sub only.
I want to get the sub only, but I don't know how to do it from the computer. I don't know how to do any of it from the computer. Okay, but I'll do that. Go ahead, Brandon. Dayton, so Brandon, I want to hear what you want to say. Dayton, I want you to respond, and then Dark Matters. So whatever Dayton say, Brandon, just hold on for a second while I can bring in Dark Matters. Thank you. Who sent that love? Thank you so much. Thank you, Tiana. How you doing, beautiful? Okay, go ahead.
Fair enough. Well, yeah, what I was saying, but before you interrupt me, yes, a leader listens to other people. I'm not saying a leader is just one word. Whatever he says is the law. That's not what a leader is. A good leader, listens to other people around him. Takes other people's information in. Like, it's just not just whatever I say goes. That's not what a good leader is. You can have a bad leader. So no, I don't think that's what just being a leader is. Just dictating just to your woman to do whatever you tell her to do. What I am saying is, if you are the leader in your relationship and you say, you tell your woman, I don't want you to go down there, or I don't want you to go to this shady area, and she goes down there and you have to help her, or something happens, you are responsible for it, and you're putting yourself into danger. So after a while, the woman has to respect you enough to be like, well, if I'm having all this pressure putting on me to protect you, and if something goes wrong, it's on me, then you have to able to listen to me. It doesn't work without the other. You can't have a chief without an enemy. You can't have a boss without an employee. It just doesn't work. If someone is responsible for protecting you, then if he says, don't go down there, this is dangerous, and you say, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. And what is this? Because it doesn't work the other way around.
What does that have to do with what she wears and what she put on her head?
No, but I'm saying, like, no, I'm saying, but what she wears, because yes.
I helped her.
No, because if she wears certain things around certain people, she's more likely to be looked at a certain way. Hell, she may not.
So to interview. You tell her to stop.
I'm not done talking, bro.
But you tell her.
Hold on, wait, everybody.
No, because y'all talking. I didn't say nothing.
Hey, Mimosa. Hold on. I got you, Brandon. I got you. Y'all, please let everybody speak because we want to be respectful. I think that's the most important part, even if we do not agree. Mimosa, thank you for the $15 for donation for clearing out the gold. Just talking to some Mimosa in this. Thank you guys for always supporting. Of course, we are always continuously appreciate love. I'm Jessica Simone via Cash App and Venmo. Please feel free to put a message in the donation as well. Give me a follow if you're not done. So continue to tap the screen. We have 2 minutes before we get to 150K, or we're gonna just kind of cut I don't know how to do sub only chat. So guess what? We're gonna cut the whole fucking comments off until we get to 150K. Brandon, I think I was talking to you. I don't remember.
Yeah.
He just keeps saying the same thing over and over again.
Hold on one second. Y'all. I do not
repeat
I will mute everybody.
Yes,
I will
please.
mute everybody.
Please. Even if you don't agree, it's okay. But that's the point of the discourse, because sometimes, respectfully, people walk themselves into whatever, into it. So, Brandon, I have a question before I go TT, and I want to get a mod announcement going. What is it that why is it the fact that you tell the woman she can't wear a certain thing because men do a certain thing, which means that men act a certain way, that men treat women a certain way just by what they're wearing? So why don't men, as strong as they are and the leaders that they are, have any discipline and control over themselves to treat?
Because I'm one man and I can't control the will of another man.
So do you have friends that have cheated on their girlfriends?
No, I don't.
You've never had a friend cheat on his girlfriend?
I've never had a friend cheat on his girlfriend. No, I have not.
Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I don't even know how to do this. Hold on, give me 1 second. Because I have to use the restroom and I need a quick mod announcement. And if everybody, I'm gonna be quick. Restroom's right behind me. It's gonna be a random thing on the back, so don't worry about it. And Naquan, can you or they make a
Jessica, I gotta drop. Thanks for letting me up.
Go ahead. Hold on. Let me drop you. Is that let me?
Yeah. I just came up to debate that.
Okay,
clown.
No problem. I appreciate you. I'm gonna TT, please make a mod announcement. And if we're not at 150K by the time I get back, we'll cut the comments off. And I want to hear from Dark Matters. Give me 1 second.
Okay, so before I do the mod announcement, Brandon, can I ask you a quick question?
No, do the mod announcement. Cause y'all don't get y'all arguing before I get back.
Oh no, it ain't gonna be no arguing. I'm not arguing with nobody. So yes, let's do all the good things. Tap the screen and share the live. Invite any man or woman that you feel need to have or hear this discussion. Also, let's give the host for having this live. And I will say this with my whole chest, and I stand on it. Any man that drops a disrespectful comment in the chat towards any woman, I am gonna mute you. This is your only warning. Tell her, don't tell me what to do. Hey, Dan, I think you got a bit of an echo.
Say it again, brother.
You got a bit of an echo.
Me?
Yeah. Chad, is that better? All right. Come on, let's get the likes up to 150, y'all.
You still got an echo?
Is the echo still there, y'all?
No, I think y'all good, man.
We need some sort of commercial break music, you know?
I started to play some music just now, and I don't know why I didn't.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, let's go to something. Okay, Dark Matters, welcome to the chat. How are you?
Wait.
Oh, what happened?
It was me.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Dave.
I had to respond to our leadership guy down there. Just two questions.
Go ahead, sir.
Just two questions. One, have you ever led anybody before?
Yes.
Okay. And in leading somebody, did you control their livelihood? Did you control whether or not they lived, died, or whatever?
Did I control if they lived or no? I can't control that. I'm not God.
Okay. So
I did.
So I know I'm about. Listen, we into the ball game. So
Yeah,
again,
that's crazy, dude.
So again, when you talk about leadership, you can't intertwine, because basically what Jess said was exactly what I said. You don't always have to be in front to be the leader.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the biggest myth. That's the biggest myth known to man.
Yeah,
you don't always have to be the person that give off the orders to be the leader. You know, see, because I lead a group of 62 men and women, and I'm not at work, but I'm believing that they're doing what they need to be doing, because my lieutenants that I have in place and my sergeants that I have in place are doing what they need to be doing. If not, they report to me. So again,
who dictated the order?
Again, they're being led by someone else. Now, in regards to relationship, the same thing. You're not going to be with your spouse 24/7, but you believe that they're going to be doing things that need to uphold your relationship. So you don't need to constantly remind them of whatever the case may be. And if you are in a relationship like that, you probably shouldn't be in that relationship if you got to tell somebody what not to wear. That's all.
When did I say this? Like y'all just
okay. Hold on one second,
every
Brandon.
Day you just
earlier you
what
said,
she wears?
hold on. Earlier you said that if I can't tell a woman what she should not be wearing or what she should be wearing on her head, then she did not deserve protection from me. You said that earlier, and I have no problem. I will repost it for you if you would like.
If I'm saying that you can't wear a 2-inch skirt or whatever it is where everything is showing, like first of all, I wouldn't even be with a woman like that. But if she just decides,
why does that even matter?
No, because if one, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why it matters. If one day, if she's concerned, if she's been conservative since I met her, and one day she decides to wear a half-naked dress and go outside, I'm like, you can't wear that outside. That's what I would say. And I'm getting tired of actually, because it's funny because a woman would say this to a man. The man was wearing something that she thought was too revealing, whatever it was, and it wasn't appropriate. A woman will say, yo, I don't think you should wear that. We have no problem with that. But when I flip it, it's this is kind of controlling. Like, this is what I mean. Men have no authority, have no say-so in today's society. We wonder why society is where it is.
What do you want them to wear? Why can't she wear what she want to wear?
Because sometimes it's not appropriate. She asked me a question.
No, hold on. Okay. And then I want to hear from Dark Matters. I apologize.
Yeah, because sometimes what you wear isn't appropriate. Like if I was to wear swimming shorts and have my shirt out and go to your mother's house, you'd be like, that's not appropriate to go to my mother's house. You not wear that. But if I flip it, I can never say nothing to a woman. So sometimes you have something on that is inappropriate that you may not be aware of because you just may not think it's a big deal. But I, as your husband or your boyfriend, whatever, I'm saying, I'm looking out for you. You trusted me to be in this relationship. You trusted me to take my advice before. I'm doing this for you. You can't see sometimes the mistakes you may make.
Oh, can I?
Do you want to do it? Do you know who Dayton is, Brandon?
Who Dayton? I don't know who the guy. A couple of.
Thank you for the $50 donut. Said I tried, Jess, but I can no longer do it any fucking more. I'm over it. I am sick of it. So even though a lot of people voted for the dictator, we still believe in democracy here. And here we vote with our dollars. Okay. There is a $50 drop. And if somebody donates $50, they can drop you from the panel. They don't feel like you're disingenuous or you're not adding to the conversation. So sometimes they want to deport you back to the comments where we can just learn a little bit more. And maybe you can come back tomorrow. Sometimes we come back with a different mindset and a different view. But today class is in session. Now, because we believe in democracy, there is a $100 return fee. Okay, I think that's only fair. What did Kendrick Lamar say? It's only right. He said, you bought the ring, we'll double the wage, right? So there is a $100 return fee. If you do not want to return, you want to wait till tomorrow, that's fine. And you can just listen. Brandon, thank you so much for being here. But yeah, thank you, Dayton.
But Jess, I got this is the third time that he lied. The gentleman came up before and totally destroyed him. And he backtracked a lot of things he said. Naquan came in and gave him fact. He backtracked what he said. Mm-hmm. Now all of a sudden he didn't say nothing about women not wearing this. Oh, come on, stop, man. You sound like a weak guy. That's what you sound like, a guy that's very weak. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. Go play with some kids, man.
Mm-hmm. How much you want to bet that he lives on?
So this is Daniel Morgan.
Hey, Daniel, wait, we talking. Daniel,
okay. Oh yeah. I'm so sorry, Daniel. Give me 1 second. Dark Matters. I'm so sorry, Dark Matters. You've been waiting very patiently, and I was kind of interrupting because there would be some things that Brandon would say, and I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And I want to know again. So, Dark Matters, welcome to the chat. How are you doing? And were you coming to speak to Brandon? Empty podcast man, or answer the prompt?
I wanted to well, Brandon is gone, so I don't even have to address that. It's just foolishness. Mm-hmm. But Dayton said some things that truly is he should have picked up on. I can tell that Dayton is a military man like myself. Mm-hmm. And I respect that. And we know what leadership is. And so all right, so real talk, I can listen to the Red Pill community
and not be brainwashed like Brandon. See, the problem was that's where he was trying to spew those talking points, and my platform kind of stays in that area, in that realm. And I respect that. You know what I'm saying? And when we talk about the protection of anybody, man or women, right? Black men, black women, because trust me, we all need protection. It's unequivocal that if the man's main purpose is to protect and provide, this conversation is for us, by us, to us. You know what I'm saying? What Brandon was trying to do was deflect off the fact that if you make bad decisions, the people that you just so happen to be in a relationship with probably gonna put you in those type of situations where you feel like you need to say something. The great part about my relationship with my wife is the fact that woman literally has her own autonomy. I don't have to deal with anything because she deals with all her stuff herself. And my protection comes from the fact that anybody try to step to her, you know what I'm saying? That's my realm, my goal in any aspect. Now, when we talk about all black women, I don't agree with that all black women need protection because all black men don't need protection. Some of us ain't gonna make it.
I got a quick question, really quick, okay. Dark matter. When we talk about women needing protection, who do women need protection from?
Men themselves, right. It's across the board.
Okay, and then when you say men are not getting protection, who do you think women are protecting men from?
Who do I think women should be protecting men from?
When you said something just now about all men are not to be protected. Who do you think are protecting those men?
I'm speaking from a perspective of the black community.
Right.
All right, so check this out. At one point in time, black men, do you have, I don't know if anybody watched or read the Willie Lynch notes, right? Black men during slavery times was not protected. So much so to where we were literally pulled apart by horses.
Right.
Right. In front of people.
Right. In front of the kids and the children so that they would not rebel up against the white men.
Which changed the dynamic of our family. Because now we saying, I don't want you to grow up and be big and strong like your daddy, right? I need you to be quiet. I don't want the young lady to grow up and be, feminine. She needs to be independent.
Welcome back. Hector.
So, you know what I'm saying? So this is where that whole protection thing. Listen, the dynamic of the black family, man, woman, child. That's it. We were supposed to stay together. Now, granted, we can't, I protect black women, but I can't sit here and say that every black woman deserves the same. And I can't say that every black man deserves the same. And if you say that, you're being disingenuous because we all can't make it.
And this not even like no type of gotcha moment because I don't kind of believe in those. But I'm saying like when you say every man doesn't need protecting, you saying protecting from black women?
Yes.
And what would they be protecting them from?
I'll give you a great example. On the picture right now, you have Megan Thee Stallion, right? Mm-hmm. So what if the new evidence that popped up, Tory Lanez is innocent, and her friend who actually DNA is on the weapon, what if she did it?
Hold on, but both of so you're telling me that both of their DNA is on they both had like what's that called? Not Tory. So if Tory Lanez's DNA was never on the weapon, then why do you feel like he went to jail?
He wasn't protected.
Protected by who? Because that's the thing. When this initially happened, She said that she told the cops that she stepped on glass. She knew she got shot, but she said she stepped on glass. 2, she also said that she didn't want to press any charges because she knows how cops deal with black men and black people as a whole. Hold on. As a whole. So she was doing this. She lied to the police to protect him, right? But then they pulled bullet fragments out of her feet. And then the state picked it up and they charged them. They charged Tory Lanez themselves. She didn't charge Tory Lanez. The state can pick it up if they feel like they want to. They did. That's and right. They can also subpoena her to testify, which she would have to show up and do. So how is she wrong in doing so? So this black woman is protecting this black man, understanding the police and how they move, and lied to them so she could protect them. So why would she be wrong, even with quote unquote said new evidence?
Okay, so all right. Somebody say I don't know what I'm talking about, which is crazy.
No, don't worry about that. Okay. I'm asking you a question. So
check me out. All right, so I don't think that she did that to protect Tory Lanez. I think that she did that to protect her image. And what her image was a victim. She was a victim of something.
No, I mean, it would be better for her image to be a victim of getting shot.
But I'm saying, I don't disagree that she got shot. I believe that she didn't charge Tory because she knew Tory didn't do it. But she didn't want to charge the person who did because that's her confidant. That's her friend. Okay. So here's the thing.
That don't even make sense because if they're no longer friends, not only if they're no longer friends, and the girl got immunity, she could just say Kelsey did it, and Kelsey don't even have to testify against herself. I don't have to implicate Tory for if my friend did it. I would just say it was her, and she got immunity, so she gonna get off anyway. It's a win-win for everybody.
But here's the thing.
She don't even have to. That don't even make sense for her to have to do that. And then Tory's on the phone apologizing to Megan, apologizing to Kelsey for Megan. Tell Megan I'm sorry. Did we forget that part?
Okay, hold on. Can I say this real quick? I'll land my plane. So, all right. So if Tory didn't get poked 14 times in federal prison, and then she went on social media like, "Oh, you're a horrible person and leave me alone." Like this dude literally laying up in the infirmary right now, but she's going on social media like, "Oh, you're a monster," and I hope like okay.
No. Because hold on, Dark Matters, we're missing parts of it. She didn't just come at Tory. She said, and I actually read this post today. Why does everybody keep coming at me? He got allegedly hit up in jail or whatever, and then people started coming at her. Like black men got on live and said, "Oh, Tory got hit. Wherever Megan at, I'm gonna find her. We finna pull up on her." So in order for Tim to circle jerk up on Corey, just like she said, send him a JPay or something. In order for them to have Tory's back because he got in jail, you're telling us that you are going to run up on a black woman wherever she at and get at her because the man that you love went to jail.
That's corny.
How astronomical is that, Dark Matters, right?
Right. I'm not listen. I'm not saying that that's okay, but I'm saying this. If the evidence come out right tomorrow that this didn't happen with Tory Lanez, what then do we say about black women, black men in bad situations? Just like the other one, because the baby mama of the situation is even worse. Ain't nobody advocating for black men in the family court system. Everybody want to talk about how good protection is until family courts start robbing black men of livelihood. Ain't nobody gonna go back on that.
Hold on, but my thing is she didn't bring these charges against Tory Lanez. That's first of all. 2, why are we mad at Megan Thee Stallion? If he didn't shoot her, why didn't he get up on the stand and defend his motherfucking self? If you can't speak up for yourself, but you want a black woman to justify and say it was her and not you, but you won't have the balls enough to get up and understand and defend your damn self. You won't even speak up for yourself, but you want me to speak up for you. That's 2. And 3, the man is on probation. He's not even supposed to be around Pum Pums. For the fact that he even got any Pum Pum residue on him and around the Pum Pum while he's on probation is already a violation of his probation. So he fucking up by violating his probation anyway, which is why he was going to go to jail. So regardless of what quote unquote evidence say, he not even supposed to be shooting no Pum Pum or be around no Pum Pum. So that's his fault again. But black women are supposed to take the brunt of black men's downfalls and their bad fucking decisions, right? I don't give a fuck what the evidence say. You ain't even supposed to be around it. That that was one of the biggest parts of what convicted him. He ain't supposed. He violated his probation.
He was an easy target.
He violated his probation, which means I fucked up already once and I'm fucking up again, right?
Where did she get shot? Where did she get shot at? She was in a car. Like they was riding.
No, they were in the car, but when she got out the car, she had already got out the car to start out walking. And he said, bitch, dance. So why would he say bitch dance? Okay. I'm just saying. My thing, hold on. Even regardless dark matters, he's on probation, which means he already fucked up once. He not even supposed to be.
His gun. He was in the
then
car.
Why does he have residue on him then?
Because when a gun
even
goes
if
off, it goes off.
A part of your probation is you're not supposed to be around Pum Pums, right?
But he's a celebrity.
He's not even supposed to be around Pum Pums.
Okay. T.I. is around Pum Pums.
Not anymore. Not anymore. Not anymore. But let me correct 2 things you said. First of all, they was outside the car when it happened. Secondly, it was 90% male DNA on the firearm. Thirdly, he had residue on him. So please elaborate. I don't know if you ever. Well, you said you did shoot Pum Pum. If the only reason you're gonna have Pum Pum on you is if you're that close to the person that used it, or you used it yourself.
Okay. Maybe I've never had any gun Pum Pum experience, so I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking outside of my neck. What I'm saying is, I know a gun residue. You said 90% male
residue. Pew residue.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Just for TikTok.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't think that my point is too far-fetched. If I'm saying that y'all don't protect us, we don't protect
Hold on,
y'all.
but what are we protecting y'all from?
From y'all, most of the time.
Hold on, you said that men need to protect women from other men. So you want women to protect you from other women from doing what? Thank you.
I don't know. Between the Tory Lane saga, between how many
Hold on. This is where I'm. First of all,
I don't think.
What do you want women to protect men from doing? From you want women to protect men from other women from doing what?
First of all, men and women move totally different. We don't move the same way y'all do, correct?
I'm saying really quick. What do you want?
I'm talking about what kind of conniving things that could possibly derail a man's whole life. That's what you're saying?
I'm asking. No, I'm at you. When I say men protect women, obviously it's not just physical, but even in the physical aspect, I ask you, what are you protecting women from? You say other men. So because they will be.
I said for men and women.
So you saying black men should protect women from other men and women?
Yes.
Other women from doing what? Protect them from other women from doing what?
Bruh, listen, if y'all act like, I don't know why we acting like black women and black men, right, don't do conniving shit. Like black women do conniving shit too. That's why me and Brandon, I can't stand how he was talking, but black men and black women are not a monolith. We do certain things.
Hey, vegan.
And black women, you can't say that black women ain't out here messing up people's lives.
How so?
we ain't even talking about small lies. We talking about like, it ain't your baby, but I'm gonna let you, raise him for 16 years. Or, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna call the cops on you so you can go to jail, even though you ain't even do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like domestic violence.
Hold on,
all
what?
This other stuff.
What?
So you saying you don't?
No. Hold on. First of all, Jesse, thank you for the $2 for Buddy. Sounds like a red pill. Cornball. You listen to Fresh and Fit and Fake and Fraud. Tory put himself in that situation, which I keep saying, like, I don't get why we're mad at Megan Thee Stallion when she never pressed charges on Tory. She even lied to protect Tory, and Tory threw her under the bus, and she got subpoenaed to testify against him. And y'all wanted her to lie on the stand of what she knew. And that's what I'm thinking. Like, this black woman tried to protect this black man, and you guys still shit on her, which is wild. It's beyond me. And the fact that you were supporting, or just like, what if she did this, and what if the evidence come out that this, that, and happened? You think it's a dig at Megan? The state picked it up. She tried to help him, which is what I don't get. And it's like black women are like doomed if you do, damned if you do, doomed if you're not. In that regard.
Maybe I'm a hater. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
I said maybe I'm just a hater. That's what it is.
Do you? Is it because the bitch is bad? She great. She living in authenticity. She do whatever the fuck she want to do. She not tolerating no nigga shit. She switch them up if she don't want to. When society tell us to stick with whoever the fuck even if they do whatever. She has a degree. She's one of the few rappers that owns her own masters, owns her own production company. Do you feel like that a lot of that is intimidating?
No, not really. I mean,
then why do you
to
feel
be
like
honest? That don't intimidate me because I got all of my shit together too. I'm not worried about that.
Then why you say I guess I'm just a hater?
No, because people like, oh, this red, he sound retarded or something. Like, I'm not.
No, please don't use the R word, please. Yeah, we can't. It's a slur on here too.
My bad.
No, I didn't say that. Corny. They said you sound like a red pill guy, but they didn't say the R word or anything like that.
Yeah, it's all good. I just listen. I'm believing in speaking in my piece.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. I think everybody should be able to speak. I'm sorry that my words are the way they are. Like, I'm a Marine, so really this is me cleaning up my language. You know what I'm saying? So it's me over here trying to figure out how to say it without saying F-bomb every 2 words. So it's all good. I just wanted you to understand, like, I respect your platform. You legit. And, it is what it is. Hey, I appreciate your time.
But wait, can I correct one thing you said about family court? So fun fact, most of the men that no, because you put out the wrong thing. So most men that don't get custody of their kids is because they settle out of court or they don't actually fight. I know this for a fact because I have my daughter and had her since she was 2 months old.
That's cool. I have my kids too. And
hold on. How many kids you got? Dark Matter?
Me?
Yeah.
I have 5 in total.
Do you have all 5 of them?
Yes.
How many baby mamas you got?
I only have 2 baby mamas.
Why you didn't marry? Did you marry either one of them?
Yes, actually, I married my first kid's mom.
Mm-hmm. Why didn't it work out?
Why didn't that work out? There's a lot of stuff, but I was in the military. That's pretty much.
Did you cheat on her?
No, I just deployed a lot. So she
and you didn't cheat on deployment. I've been there.
I'm not saying
I know all about the military life. I know all about the deployment. I know all about the secret. While we away, we single. I know all of that.
Nah.
You've never cheated on her.
No,
she's not in here.
Why is that?
I mean, and it's over.
That's why it don't matter.
Okay.
Because you know what I'm saying, so long ago. But no.
So why didn't it, just because you were gone a long time?
Yeah. You know, sometimes people can't cope with, you know what I'm saying? People can't adjust to military life. And I understand that. We still friends to this day.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no ill will. I
Hey,
understand that
Caribou.
she couldn't cope with that, and I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
You know
And
what I'm
then
saying?
when you and what about your second baby mama?
High school, childish. I was young. The first woman out of high school that I like dated, I married. But my first child was when I was.
You date hold on. You dated the first. Did the girl in high school you married?
My high school sweetheart I married and had 2 kids by.
Okay.
Before her, right?
And that's the one you were deploying a long time, and she couldn't deal with it.
She was she was there.
And then after you left her, and then you got with somebody else.
Right.
You had 3 kids by this next person that you did not marry, right?
So no, I had the next girl that the person that I did have another kid with, that was in high school. That's what I backtracked. So I had a baby in high school, and then
the baby in high school you did not marry. The baby mama in high school you did not marry.
You're not married.
But the other girl in school you did marry.
Yes.
You had the baby on the first girl, on the other girl that you married.
No. I didn't have a baby on her. I had the baby, and then
you had the baby in junior high, junior, senior,
in high school.
Yeah,
junior.
You had a baby when you was a junior in high school.
Yes.
Then you dated a girl in your senior year in high school.
Yes.
And then you married her.
Yes.
Had 2 kids by her.
Yes.
And then where the other 2 come from?
Blended family.
Oh, okay. So you have 5 kids, but 3 biologically.
Yes. But the other 2, I feed them. They mine. They're my kids.
So the other 2 are where the other 2 come from? Are you married right now?
Yes.
Okay. So your new wife right now has 2 kids on her own.
Yes.
And then you bring in your 3 as well.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So and that's so you just I would say you like I made a mistake in high school, right? Because my thing is that's what we talk about, even protecting Black women. Why do we impregnate Black women? These women, if we don't plan on loving them or being with them or marrying them.
Well, me and her was making a mutual decision, and we made a mutual decision, and we made a child by it. But when the child came, that was a no negotiation. My child, I'm gonna take care. Like if she felt a certain type of way, I made sure she felt comfortable. I made sure my kid was taken care of, and the mother of my kids know that, all of them, both of them.
So you in your junior year in high school, you and a girl had a mutual agreement. What was that mutual agreement? To have a baby?
No, to have sex. It was mutual.
Right.
That's when you say, well, you chose.
So I'm asking why aren't you guys using protection? Why are you letting yourself off inside of her instead of pulling out?
I was young.
That's what I'm saying. It was a mistake, right?
It wasn't a mistake. It was intentional.
Did you mistakenly release yourself inside of her? Were you trying to?
No. All right. So what I'm saying is, I'm not going to let myself off the hook like, oh, I just made a mistake. Like, no, you intentionally tried to have sex. You intentionally had sex. You intentionally did what you do. So now you intentionally have to deal with the consequences.
But you didn't intentionally want to have children, did you?
No, I did not.
I want us to be realistic because that's the thing. We keep, gracing over and acting like this is that. Is why we continue to get in the same predicaments, because you didn't intentionally want to have children. You did intentionally want to have sex. And that's okay for 2 people to want to have sex. And I hate when people say, oh, you shouldn't have sex if you don't want kids, because having sex does not necessarily mean that you have to have children. You can always use protection. You can always use the pull-out method as well, even though I know sometimes you can, have that pre-ejaculation that can contribute to having children, but it's not always a thing. So, but my thing is, every unwanted baby is due to a man, because she doesn't know when you're about to release yourself. Only you know. And you could definitely pull out. You could definitely, and people say close your legs, but you can also say no. You don't have to go in between every open leg either, right? Because men have a choice too. Am I not right?
Well, we have a choice, but that's not our choice.
No, but you make a choice. If you see 5 people and all of their legs are open, you have a choice to go in all of them or none of them, correct?
That choice, that we have the
right.
choice.
So just because a woman, because we say, oh, don't open your legs, but because women open their legs, you have a choice to go in or not, correct?
Correct.
And then even when you go in, you hold on 1 second. Even when you go in, you have a choice to put a condom on, correct?
Yeah.
Right. And even if you don't decide to put one on, you have a choice to pull out, correct?
Correct.
So men have 3 choices when it comes to having this baby. Do it raw, and ejaculate inside of this woman, but yet they choose to do all 3. And then they tell the woman that she needs to close her legs. Right.
And then, but the woman is exonerated from all responsibility.
I didn't say that because that's the thing that I always say. It's okay for 2 people to have sex. I think that's perfectly normal because that's a part of life. It's a part of pleasure. It's a part of just getting to know anybody. Sometimes it's a part of intimacy, chemistry. That's okay. But you can also be safe, and you can also use protection, and you can also pull out. Because a woman doesn't know when you are about to, you can have sex and not get pregnant. The only time you get pregnant is when 9 times out of 10, when you ejaculate inside of said woman. But if you make sure that either you use a condom or you pull out, because it's your choice, when you know you're about to, you could do it there or you can pull it out. You make the choice to get pregnant. And that's why I always say the woman should be able to have the choice to get rid of it if she don't want it. She should be able to have a choice for plan B. She should be able to have a choice to get an AB if she would like to do so, because you made the choice to get her pregnant. So she should have the choice to be able to, you guys both made one choice to have sex, but then you made an extra choice to ejaculate inside of her. So she should be able to have that choice to be able to get rid of it if she seems to do so and she don't want to be an incubator.
I don't disagree with that at all.
I respect that.
Type of brother.
And
you know what I'm saying? Like, but here's the thing. I'm also an accountability type of brother. And if you tell me that I have to be accountable for what I did, then she has to be accountable for what she did.
And sometimes a woman don't mind being accountable. Like, damn, I fucked him. We'll do. He ejaculated inside of me. I'm gonna get an AB, and I just have to take the consequences. But we don't even have that choice anymore.
Yeah.
So that means that men can grape women. Men can take it from women. A lot of men think that they be getting cooch, and women just be just saying yes, because they feel unsafe and they just want to get out of the situation. I think a lot of men don't even know that women restart to install the website. Estimate something is new update ready for you to a lot of men don't even know that women only say yes because they don't feel safe, so they can get out of the situation. They be thinking they're getting it, but you're like, oh, come on. I'm just trying to get out of the situation. But anyways, and again, not feeling protected, not feeling safe in said situation.
One thing, can I say my last thing?
Of course.
I think the only choice that we have, men have, truly have, is whether we gonna marry somebody or not. Y'all choose whether we get the box. Y'all choose when we get the box. Y'all choose.
Hold on. We don't always choose when we get the box because a lot of women get raped. Hold on. And before you go, Jesse, thank you for the $2 for dude who hurt you. You're all over the place. Get around some stand-up men and have them lace you with some game. You seem to like it. Thank you so much for the $2 dono, Jesse. Drop some coconuts for Jesse. I'm sorry, baby. I saw it, but I was in the middle of something. But go ahead. You said that.
I'm just saying, men choose who marry. Y'all choose who get the box. And that's the choices that we have. And that's the only choices we truly have.
But women don't always just choose who get the box because women are being raped. Not only are women being great, they've been
All
put in
women are being great. Every one of them.
But since this was back in July, that since Roe versus Wade has been overturned, that it was over 65,000
crazy. I believe that
births due to grape alone. That's not even the women that didn't get pregnant that was raped, right? Everybody in our family knows that one uncle that did or cousin that did something to somebody. We all know someone who was a woman who was sexually assaulted, right? We all do.
Right.
So my thing is that's the number of men that do it. So we don't always even get the option of, who we're going to give the box to. But with you saying that only choice that we get is if we're going to marry, do you think that men hold out on that choice because they feel like that's their only power?
Probably. Honestly.
I mean, I appreciate the honesty of the conversation. So that I really appreciate that. Because I think that's why these conversations are needed, so we can get down to the bottom of it. Because that's the only times we can even make any type of change. Hey, Jock Socks, miss you. I was thinking about you the other day. I hope you're everything is well, Jock Socks.
Hey, but I appreciate it. You could drop me. Thanks.
No problem. Anything else you want to add before you leave?
No,
Thank
man.
you
Like, listen,
for the money. Pew, pew.
I'm not disrespectful. I don't want anybody to think that I am. Like, I love women. I'll cherish Black women forever. That is my go-to. But the problem is, I also believe in accountability, and a lot of people don't. So,
that's going to be also too another conversation for a different week. So definitely come back, Dark Matters. You've been respectful, so I appreciate that too. Thank you so much.
Hey, Daquan, you had any luck finding it?
Nah, I had to get the magnifying glass. I still ain't found it. The super size.
Yeah, I put an APB out on
Can
it
I
yesterday.
just say something real quick?
I don't know where it's at.
Go ahead. Oh, yeah.
The fact that this man up here gave y'all lies and NJP tales was just fucking crazy to me. The fact that he says that, women need to take accountability. Do the women that serve the same as him need to take accountability for being sexually harassed and assaulted? Me being one of those women where I've had to use sharp not once, not twice, but 3 times in my whole fucking career, that's a problem. You don't want to protect us, neither do you care about us, but go off NJP King.
Period.
Stolen valor, by the way. I just felt that through the phone. I felt it. But,
Thank you, Jack Socks. Drop some coconuts for Jack Socks in the chat. Thank you so much for them. Hold on. You know what? I still have that sound. I forgot I be having is it Mizan?
I think his Logic was just spotted in Kentucky. Give me a second.
You guys, give me a follow if you're not done. So tap the screen. Let's get up to 200K. I'll give you guys it's 178 of us. I'll give you guys 10 minutes, 123, or we'll turn the comments off. I know I said the last time and I totally forgot, but I'm not going to forget this time. I promise. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But please tap the screen. That's like, especially if you guys say, hey, I don't have anything to donate or give. The best way that you can support the live is continuously tap the screen and share the live out. And, I always tell the people, it doesn't matter if you don't have any monetary value, you still have value and you still are valuable, and we can help in so many ways. Hey, Reverend Pat, love the conversation. Thank you for the $5 dono. Drop some coconuts for Reverend Pat. I haven't seen him a minute, but that is my auntie. I appreciate you. If you guys don't know, me and Reverend Pat was also at the Kamala Harris rallied together. So yeah, I love you. I appreciate you. Long time no see. Again, give me a follow if you're not done so to continue to tap the screen. The best way to support the live always is via Cash App and or Venmo. We appreciate all the love this allows us to continue to have these conversations and get down to the root of it. And we only need 2 more candy bouquets to reach our gift goal. And Mizan?
Yes, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Can you tell me how to pronounce it again?
It is Mizan.
Mazine.
Yes, ma'am.
Dating real quick. I found this logic. It's on the other side of the ice wall.
Got you. The root.
I'm fucking
Ice
hollering.
wall.
Oh, Mizan, welcome in. Thank you so much for your patience. Were you coming in to respond to what somebody said before, or to answer? Thank you guys for the follow. The prompt of like, why don't black males protect black women?
Well, I want to answer that. I think that a big part of it is, we have not been taught how to value ourselves as black men, and we haven't really been taught the tremendous value of the female. So it's very difficult to protect something that you don't see value in. I have a former life, and then I have this new life that I'm trying to live. In my former life, I didn't have a lot of respect or see a lot of value in women at all. So I related to women in a way that wasn't protected. In the new life, I see the woman different, the black woman different. And I am of the mindset to protect her. However, I do want to say that at times that protection has conditions on it. Let me make my point. As a former Muslim minister, all of the men in the mosque are taught to secure the sisters, to walk them to their vehicle. And we are willing at any time to give our life for a sister who is trying to live right. However, the sisters have to protect us in the way that they move. Meaning, if I'm willing to lay my life on the line for you, don't put me in no bad position by doing something foolish. Because at the end of the day, I got a family that I got to try to get back home to. And I don't need to be going to the grave for your foolishness or to the prison for your foolishness. So I think we got to have a level of discretion when we talk about protection. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to protect somebody who does not have any self-control. So, and I mean, if you look at the state of our community, we just have to be taught better. A lot of sisters put themselves in very, very bad situations. And there's only so much we can do.
What do you deem very, very bad situations?
Well, I remember a few years ago, there was a sister riding in a vehicle with her boyfriend and one of his buddies. These dudes were not legit dudes. When I say it was into everything, they went to a gas station. The young lady that was in the back seat got in the front seat. Head off.
What do you mean blowing her head off?
She had put herself in a bad situation.
Like they blown her head off, like literally or figuratively, like talking, good to her, making her feel good.
Literally.
So they blown her head off. Did she know that they were
on the live? No.
Right. So you said it's so how do we say her fault for putting herself in it? And my point exactly. She put herself in a position with other black men, right?
Absolutely.
And black men did this to her, correct?
Absolutely.
That's what I was saying. Like, black women don't even they're not safe with black men. Like Deontay made a video about like he understands why black women or just be like, I'm done with black men altogether. Because if you guys all look the same, if that's you, Mizan, and these black men that quote unquote blew her head off, she doesn't know which one is going to blow their head off. So she don't know which one to pick. So why should she to keep safe, she should really just be like, none of you, right? But then she has to put herself in certain positions to figure out which one. And sometimes that situation could end up with her head blown off. It's like snakes. You don't know which ones are, if you're not familiar with snakes, you don't know which ones are venomous, which ones will bite you, which ones will paralyze you, which ones will unalive you. So in all, you just avoid all the snakes altogether. But
I mean, you could. That's a possibility, but it's not a realistic possibility when everybody in your community looks like you, your family look like you.
Right, and she thought these black men looked like her, but then they unalived her.
I think one of the things we have to understand, we have to start to understand is we really have to redefine what friendship and what healthy relationships look like.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you an example. My sister, she had she died from heart disease. And when she passed, she didn't have any insurance. There were family members and there were friends who smoked marijuana with her.
Oh, you can't say that. I'm so sorry. Hold on. I'm going to drop you down, but just wait 60 seconds and come back up because you can't say that. While we await, just welcome to the chat. Did you want to answer the prompt or and you guys, if you come up, you cannot say the name of any shrugs, okay? You cannot say KILL, say unalive. You cannot say MURDER, DER, say Schmurder, or again, unalive. Shrugs. You can't name the name of any DRUGS. Let me see what else you can't say. You say T groups instead of TERR, ORIST, any of those things. Okay. Be just. Are you still here, love? Be just like, girl, I don't want to sleep on your ass.
So I just want to make sure I'm not tripping. Are we blaming victims? Or did I just
I'm so
understand
glad a
that?
real black man asked that question.
I'm sorry, I was asleep.
Mizan, welcome back. I don't know if you heard me, but you can't say the names
Yes,
of
ma'am,
any
I did.
DRUGS. You can say Leafy Greens, Hard Rock Cafe, Baby Powder, things like that. Any type
Yes,
of things, because they will get you for that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So my point is, they did things with her that helped to push her off of the list from getting a heart transplant. And for most of the family and the friends, they saw that as a way of being a friend, being down, being helping, or whatever the case is. And I just think we have to be totally re-educated, because me as a part of my perspective is I come from the street. When I was 14 years old, I caught a charge for unaliving somebody, and I wind up going to prison at 15 and doing 12 years in prison. So my perspective is kind of like, I've been in the streets, and I understand that in the streets, there's certain things that come with the streets. And if I'm going to be in the streets, I got to be willing to accept what comes with the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you cross over and you try to do right and do what you know is right, you enter into a totally different life in a totally different world. And there's certain things you don't have to deal with. So only thing I'm saying is we have to be responsible for the decisions that we make. for sometimes the positions that we put ourselves in.
I get that. But even as young women, right? You say you're 14, 15. I don't know if your parents were around. Both parents were around them?
No, my father was unalive when I was 8 years old.
Was he in the streets as well?
No.
Was he unalive, like in a car wreck or by gang members?
He was his life was taken by a person that wanted some of his property that he had.
Another black man?
No, it was actually a woman.
A black woman?
Yes.
She wanted his property, as in his house or something?
Mm-hmm.
Were they dating?
Yes. Married.
So when they were married, and did he cheat on her with your mom?
I'm pretty sure that he did, yes.
And she wanted the house.
Yes.
And he said no, and she unalived him.
He was unalive, and a something was put in his left hand when he was right-handed, and it was a bunch of corruption in the city that didn't allow accountability.
Hold on, was he pew pew?
Yes.
So she shot him
in the back. Yeah.
She shot him in the back when he was leaving out the house. So I'm assuming she's in jail then.
No.
Did she go to jail?
No.
Why not?
Because the city was very, very corrupt then as it is now.
What city is this? Because what city do the police protect the black woman?
I'm in Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
And what did they say that allowed this black woman to get off?
I'm not exactly for sure. Like I said, I was 8 years old, so
have you investigated it any?
No, I haven't, because I'm gonna tell you why I haven't. Because man, it's some dark things that I've tried to distance myself from with that whole issue. Yeah.
Okay, we don't have
because I don't want to go too far.
Yeah, we don't have to.
But the same guy who worked the case was actually the same guy that worked my case when I wound up going to prison as a teenager.
Was it a black guy or a white guy?
No, it was a white guy.
So the white guy that you said that got your mom, your stepmom, or I'm gonna say your stepmom, off because she wanted the property, and she unalived him in his back, and they let her go off, and you don't know why they let her go.
He had something placed in his left hand when he was right-handed.
What is that something?
It was a trial. It was a trial, but I'm not sure about the details as to why it ended up the way it ended up. I do know that the guy one of the main investigators on the case, I had a run-in with him. He later became the police chief, and I had a run-in with him and had to remind him of who I was. So I had kind of like two run-ins from that incident. Then when I was 14, and then when I got out at 27, I had another run-in with him.
What was the something in your father's hand, in the left hand?
Yes.
What was the something? Was it a pum pum?
No.
What was it? Shrugs? Shrugs?
I don't know what you're supposed to call it on here.
I'm just saying shrugs, like Hard Rock Cafe, Mary Jane.
Something you use to cut meat with.
So or machete.
Say it again.
So a butcher knife or a machete?
Knife.
A cleaver.
He had a cleaver in his left hand.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't still justify why she would shoot him in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wouldn't clarify as I'm also from the street. maybe older than me, but nah, I don't see that quoting as the offense. Not to the back.
Twice in the back.
So, but but I don't even think he said, you don't even know if it was self-defense, right? You don't know why she got off, remember, right?
No, I don't. It was a trial. I do know that it was a trial.
And then the person that you did unalive somebody though, right?
Yes.
So it's not like he was working against you, the same guy.
No.
Okay. So my thing is, but you did, the thing that you did, what does that have to do with protecting Black women? Because it seems like maybe your father was not protecting this Black woman, and it could have been a crime of passion, having another baby, having another family. I don't know why she got off, but I'm just saying. And it doesn't make sense for Arkansas to be protecting a Black woman if they know they can get her red-handed. But I don't know the details. Just like you say, you don't know the details. So I'm not even going to get into that. But I'm just saying, like, if he was protecting the Black woman, which was be his wife, he wouldn't have been having another family, if we're being honest, right?
Oh, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that just proves my point that Black males are not protecting Black women.
Oh, you don't get an argument out of me on that. I know that it's not happening.
So why do you think that is, though? Where do you think that? Where do you think that stems from?
As I said, we have not been taught the value of each other. We have not been taught the value of each other.
And how can we do that moving forward?
That's the biggest challenge that we have is we have allowed others to teach us about us, and they have not taught us properly.
Mm-hmm. How do you think that? Do you have children?
Yes.
And do you teach them the value of Black men and Black women?
Yes. And I'm teaching them all the time. I think one of the things is that when we understand what we have went through as a people, when we really understand it, it causes our heart to be tender toward each other.
Mm-hmm.
But most of us don't even know the recent history of in terms of the Holocaust that we have went through here.
Mm-hmm.
So
do you teach that to your children, even though they're not teaching it in school?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be foolish to let the enemy teach your children what you think your children need to know.
Mm-hmm.
We got to step it up and do something different.
What do you think is the most important thing that you teach them?
Well, I think the most important thing that
just
I'm
like
teaching
even
them,
so we can help each other out. You know what I mean? Because I think it's important for like how we move forward.
I think the most important thing is challenging them in terms of their thinking and how they process information and how they do things. It's like if I see my child doing something one way and there's several better ways, I'm going to stop him and kind of help him think through the process of what's the best way to do this. And I say that because what I see lacking in the Black community is critical thinking skills. I mean, our critical thinking skills is at the door. Everything is an emotional outburst. It's an emotional impulse. And, I was talking to a brother the other day, and him and his wife is into it, and they're in court.
200K.
And I had to explain to the brother that, some things we set in motion. And sometimes when we think that we got it together, the new man had to pay for what the old man did. So it's about getting out. For me as a man, I think that it's about for us getting out of that emotional space. We think too emotional as men. We don't think logically, and that's part of the reason why women don't get the protection that they need from us, and the reason why our reaction to women is so emotional.
Mm-hmm. I agree, because men love to spew the rhetoric that women are too emotional and men think logical, when it's actually the opposite, and just projection for the most part. Males are emotional, and more women are more and emotionally and intelligent. Do you feel like you lead by example? Because do you think it's important that if you tell the story about what happened to your father moving forward, but you don't know the details and neither have you looked into it to make sure that you're spreading truth and not misinformation and disinformation and being fair to what the situation is? Are you being an example to your children on like just making sure that you have the facts, making sure that you research your information before you spew it to other people, and think critically about the situation and be fair in what you're thinking, regardless of who you like and who you don't like, and like who you're related to and not related to? Like, yeah, it's a fucked up situation and it's a blessing that you came out of it, but the reality of the situation, right? Because you want them to think critically, you want them to use their resources, and you want them to gather all information so that they can make an educated guess based on all of the context and resources available. But for you to spew the information or the story about your dad and just say somebody just unalived him without knowing the context, how she got off, and what the case coordinate evidence was, do you think that do you feel like you could even be leading by example or not?
Well, I look at things. I look back. I look at what happened. I look at what's going on now, and I try to connect the dots. We just had a guy that was unalived the same kind of way, and before 24 hours were passed, the police chief announced that it was self-defense and closed the case. She has now been relieved of her duties from this new mayor that came in. But this is something that has been going on in our city for a long, long time.
No, I was saying, I'm asking in the case of your father, in the case of the person who unalived him, when you explain this to your children, do you feel like you may not be leading by example when telling them you want them to think critically, you want them to have all the resources, you want them to do their research, but you haven't done your research on what happened to your father? So when you spread the story, you don't even know the facts of it. You just give your biased opinion on how you want to feel and how you want to see him. But that's unfair to them because you're not giving them all of the information. And you haven't even looked for the information, but you want better out of them, but not being the example, right?
Well, I'll tell you this, dear sister. I have made attempts. I've always attempted to try to distance myself from that.
So you're teaching them to run away from the problem.
Remember, I told you, I'm from the streets. And I try to keep myself away from things that put me in dark places.
Misan,
That's a dark place.
It's a dark place, but you're not spreading truth. And I think truth is important if you want better from your children, is what I'm saying. You don't have to go back to the streets to know the facts of what happened. And I think it's also too important to be an example of how to deal with situations. How do you know that your children won't ever have a dark place in their life? And then if they don't see an example of how to deal with dark situations, how do they know how to navigate that? And they will be left alone with trial and error on how to navigate through dark situations, because dark situations don't only just happen in the hood or happen in the streets. They happen in real life. And I think it's important for you to be an example of how to navigate a dark situation. You don't have to go back to the streets to get facts, to be realistic about the situation, and to spread the truth about it. I know we all would want to look at our parents as like the best, but they're also human beings who do fucked up shit too. And if you was married and you are a product of another woman, I think there's more to look into that than just like she unalived him and it was framed.
I was actually already here. I was already here when he met this woman.
Okay, so they had already been married, but I'm also too. But what I'm saying is, I think it's important to look into the facts of what happened. or what you don't have to go to the streets to pull up a court document, to pull up evidence, to actually see what happened in it. I don't think you have to do that, but I think it's important because you got to think when you're telling the story, you're spreading misinformation. You don't even know all of the facts of it. It could be totally different, but you don't know that, because I don't know any state, especially in the South, that protects Black women from unaliving anybody and just let them get off, especially when they unalive them in the back without a reason. So I think it would be important.
The autopsy is clear. What I said is clear.
I think but why did she get off?
In the back. He was pew-pewed in the back.
I didn't say that he wasn't, but why did she get off? Thank you, Caribou, for the hard hands, and thank you, Rev Pat. Why did she get off?
I'm not 100% sure why she got off.
But you tell the story when your kids ask about their grandfather. What do you tell them?
We really haven't had the conversation.
What will you tell them?
I tell them that he was what I experienced the day that he was unalive.
You're gonna tell them unalived by some woman, and they grow up to hate Black women, but not knowing why. I think
I don't think they would.
You don't know though. You don't know how anybody takes any type of information.
I promise you, they got a different spirit. Their spirit is way different than mine.
And I also think that's the thing with I don't know if you have daughters.
I got one.
But with men, period. You think that you know how people are going to react. You think that you know what people can and cannot handle. You make decisions for people and not let them make any decisions for themselves. Everybody has deserved the truth. But give me 1 second. Self-care. Yeah, the box is officially closed. We're about to get out of here in a second. Self-care. Welcome to the chat. How are you?
I'm well, honey. How are you?
I am blessed and highly favored.
Thank you. Okay.
Did you want to respond to what somebody was saying or have said, or just talk on the point that was made?
So a couple things. We were talking about how do we have solutions, and I'm a solution-oriented person.
I love that.
Who works with young people, and what I've learned in my conversations with many adult men is that they were never taught to see women out of their utility for them. Right? If you don't serve a purpose for me and you don't have a value for me, then I don't even have an urge to protect you because it doesn't serve me. That's how a lot of men are taught to view women. They're like, what's the point of having a woman friend? What's the point of seeing this person as a whole human being? If you don't have utility to me, then you don't have value. And nobody is protecting things that don't have value to them.
True.
So we have to shift that. And how I shifted in working with children is teaching them the inherent value of the person as a person. Because people have value. Don't do this because it's a girl, or don't do this because it's a boy. Don't do this because this is a human. And we have to see each other as human beings with value. And as you have human beings with value, then people see something worthy of protection.
Yes.
But it's hard to reframe someone's thinking who has gone for their childhood into adult life without valuing women outside of their utility. It's hard to create that for them, or to let them see that. And a lot of people will think they do it, even though they don't, until you call it out in the moment, right?
Yeah.
Because I was in a situation, it was a service project, right? And there were like some dudes sitting down. And one of the guys, he offered his girl the chair and she didn't want it. But there were other women standing. And I said, but he stayed seated. He was like, well, she's my girlfriend though. I said, so you don't value women as women. You value her because she's your girlfriend. That tells me something. And I was like, I hope she's paying attention about how you see people. And that never came up for him. And that kind of became the banter. And, he tried to like call me out for, I said, baby, I don't need the seat. I'm fine. But there are other women here. Yeah. And if you just start valuing women and it was a good thing to offer a seat to a woman, offer it to your girl first, of course. Beyond that, though, do you see value in women?
Yes.
And so people have to have moments like that, because he would never think he was disrespectful of women. He would never think he didn't see value in women, because I offered it to my girl. She's a woman, but your girl has utility for you.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do with the person that has no utility for you? Do they still have value? Do you still see them as a human being? And are they still worthy of whatever kindness or care you were giving? A lot of people aren't good people. They're just good to people they care about.
They're only good to people who they fucking.
Okay, that too. And they don't even care about, they care about the utility of that person for their pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Once you no longer, that's like the men who don't take care of their children. Because another way we can protect Black women is by making sure men show up and take care of their kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we talk about the mental health, when we talk about financial health, when we talk about Black women with children are more likely to be in poverty. That's because they're taking care of their kids by themselves. If their partner shows up and takes care of the child, that's protecting Black women.
Facts.
Because now she's in a better situation. But because they don't have access to her, she no longer has utility towards him. He don't want to do nothing for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So we are back to not protecting them. We're keeping them in effed up situations.
And I even told somebody early, like, you're not even thinking about like, oh, I protect my wife and my daughters. You're not around your daughters at all times. You want somebody to have your daughter's back when she's out there. But if we're only, if we're only raising, our men to protect the ones that you love and that you fucking, if nobody's fucking your daughter, they're gonna let her be free game. But you can't protect her at all times, but you want somebody to have her back if something has happened when you're out there. And that's also contributing to the karma that you put out. Do you do the same, but you want somebody else to do it? Which is crazy. And I was thinking about, I've seen in bringing up this conversation, I've been watching a lot of videos about how, Black men are mad at Black women for being great. You should just come down to my level and come to Burger King, which is a whole nother conversation. But a lot of men was like, Black women are obese. They're more likely to going to be way more. You know why? Because you leave them with the fucking kids. She got to worry about the kids. She got to work 2, 3, 4 jobs. She got to be the man and the woman, and she got to make sure that they eat. So she's got left with a little bit. So she got to eat some shit that may not be too healthy because it don't cost that much. She most likely don't have access to a Whole Foods or a Sprouts or any type of greenery farmers market or anything like that. While you get to not take care of kids and go use your money on a trainer and act like you gonna work out in the gym membership, and then be like, you ain't keeping your weight up. You ain't taking care of your fucking kids.
But there's so much in that, right? There's the stress levels that will make you gain weight. There's the increase of cortisol. There's the lack of rest because she's always moving and grooving. That's gonna make you gain weight. You don't even understand the basics of how a body works. You don't even understand the basics of how a mind works, because you're like, you're not doing this for me. Again, selfish utility to self for me as a man, but you're not paying attention to as a man how you're contributing to all the things she can't do.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? I was at a fish fry on my family. I have a really big family, and we had a fish fry this Saturday for Memorial Day weekend. And I was talking to one of my distant aunts or whatever, and she has a rare form of cancer. She's like, I work out, I do my 5 miles or whatever, and I do this and I do that. And I was like, well, what brought it on? Because I'm also always up for listening to the elders and like anybody that's in this situation, like, how did you get there? So, I don't always need to touch. Now, sometimes I do, but I don't always need to touch the stove to know that it's hot. How did you get here? She says stress level. Stress. Too much cortisone. Stress. And that's why when motherfuckers look at me and be like, you act like you don't care, you goddamn right I don't care. It don't mean shit to me, because I'm not going to let you send me to my grave early on some bullshit. The fuck? No, I don't. I don't give a fuck. Bye. Bye. You can get dismissed. I don't care. I'm not finna play with you because you're not finna do that to me. And I'm not finna stress myself out about you. And then all of a sudden, I'm doing all the things right, not get cancer because I'm stressed out. So women, fuck them. Let them go. And I'm not even just talking about necessarily men, friends, family. Anybody can get it. Anybody can get it.
dis-ease literally in your mind, in your spirit, in your body causes disease.
Yep.
Dis-ease causes disease. Even when you talk about people who have like triggering events that something, like bipolar disorder usually has like a triggering event. Those kind of things is some form of dis-ease that then triggers something in the body. And you can't
like disrupting the ease in the body. Oh, when it click, it click. When it click, it click.
Yes. Well, people are like, that makes me feel uneasy. And I'll be like, don't override that. Follow that. That is a safety and that is an internal, inherent safety and security measure. People laugh at me because when I tell you, people laugh at my ability to walk away. They be like, dang, you really didn't talk to them no more? For why? You are showing me you are cool with bringing me dis-ease. That's all I need to know.
Yep. That's it.
Be cool.
I'm like, and then I get, especially people who are people pleasers or are really nice. You know what I'm saying? And
that's some form of dis-ease. They're not even really like that. People pleasers come up. That's a trauma response in particular. Because you learn what to do to keep everybody else cool, to keep you safe.
But so really, it's only a detriment to you at the end anyway.
And people who only want to be around you when you say yes. Them people ain't about you.
I also saw this video that said that people who are people pleasers, it's a manipulation tactic. You don't even know. Not saying that they're intentionally manipulating. I get, because two things can be true at the same time. It can also be the thing that trying to keep yourself safe, but it's also wanting to be liked. So
But that's how you also kept you safe.
Yeah. So two things can be true. I am manipulating you so I can be safe. And it's also too about like how often you use it, what situations are you using it in, and ultimately, depending on, and it's also too about having discernment, because in the right situation, I get it. You just try to get out of it. Like I said earlier, some women gave up the cooch just so they can get out with their life, get out safely. You know what I'm saying? So I get
your
that.
Number, do all kinds of stuff. Listen, I'm not you can't tell obviously because I'm in a little bitty box. I'm not a small woman. I'm not a frail woman. I'm 6'1".
I'm 5'11". Come on, shout out to all my Amazonian women, okay? Oh, I love my tall women, okay?
We here, right? I'm 6'1" and I'm solid. I'm solid. I'm a solid 225. So I'm not intimidated by much. And I'm a leader and all the things. Don't play with me. I fight. Aries energy, right? We still there. I try not to because I'm old, but if we can, if we need to, right? All of my Detroit will come to the forefront. And I still can feel when a situation is off. And when I say I will dial up that femininity and I will dial up that charm because I need to get home.
Yep.
I turn it on like a faucet. Okay?
Oh, you gotta do what you gotta do.
At the end of the day, you gotta get home.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and I unfortunately know people who ain't made it home.
Hey, Monique. And I'm like a former people pleaser, but also too just trying to avoid confrontation. But I mean, also too, you kind of find yourself when you fall short, and it's okay. And confrontation, I think that we equate confrontation always to a physical fight or a terrible argument, but it's okay to agree to disagree, and it's okay to have discourse. And I think that's important for us to understand when it comes to, how we view quote unquote confrontation.
I always tell people confrontation is not positive or negative, it's what you do with it. Most things are actually inherently valueless when it comes to stuff like that. They're not good or bad, they just are. Now, what do we do after we disagree? That's going to tell me if it was positive or negative.
Yeah.
What do we do when I tell you no? That's going to tell me if it's positive or negative, or if it's healthy or unhealthy. Because if I tell you no, and now I'm everything but a child of God, well, this is an unhealthy situation. No shouldn't make you go off like that. I do something you don't like and your first thought is to run up on me or to ball your fist, well, sir, you won't get a chance to do that again.
Yeah.
You're not going to have me in a place of dis-ease or feeling like I've got to dial it up to get home safely. That's crazy. To the point of your aunt, now I am sick in my body because I allowed all of this dis-ease and all of this stress to run my life. So I'm doing all of this to preserve my life, and in the end, I end up taking it.
Oh! And then sometimes they think taking it is always by self on the line. Sometimes it is the cancer.
It is the constant neglecting of yourself. It is the disregard for your mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, and financial health and professional health.
Yep.
People who don't take jobs because then I'll make more than him and then he won't protect me anymore. I was in here earlier and I heard a little bit about that little Burger King situation because the woman had a job and she was making money, blah, 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 blah. And she disrespected him or whatever. Honey, she disrespected you because she felt you weren't worthy of respect. Why are you still with a woman?
Thank you, lady.
That feels you aren't worthy of respect. And why are you staying in a situation that you feel bad about? I know women who work and their husbands don't work. Their husbands stay home. That's the arrangement they agreed on based on their career trajectory. She respect that man down. Because it's not about money. It is about contribution and leadership.
That's why I say capitalism disintegrates the soul.
Well, also a lot of men and women, right? Because women is the ideology, men is how they live it out. A lot of men have not dialed up the leadership or the contribution, so all they have is money. And if all you have is money and she's telling you ain't got enough money to do that over here, then you feel attacked because you haven't developed any of your other skills because no one told you had to.
Yeah.
Because this is not a person of value.
Yeah. And that's why I say, like, even too, that's why one of these weeks coming up, it's going to be not only, it's going to be about boy moms, you know, because I think also too, it's important for us. It's a lot to go into boy moms because we got to understand all the men that we have a problem with was raised by some woman. What did she instill in him or did not instill in him that? Yes. And that's why I'm saying, like, how can we be different moving forward as boy moms than what we have received? Because everybody who said, I'm a single mom, your baby daddy was raised by a mama. How did she raise him? Are you raising your son the same way? Are you holding your son, letting your son know that he's going to have to be accountable? Are you taking his side over hers when obviously your son is wrong? You know what I'm saying? Some boy moms are cringe as fuck. I would have to fucking agree.
100%. And even with that,
they think they married to these boy moms because telling your son at 4 years old that he the man of the house is wild.
He ain't the man of that. He ain't a man. He's 16. He's 21. He is even if he is a man in the house, he is not a man. He is not the man of the house. Because that has a specific responsibility and role that you should not put on your child. But even with that, one of the things I love, so my niece just turned 14 on Monday. That's my baby. She has a little brother who will be 11 this year. When she started her cycle, they taught her brother how to have empathy and to care for her. That's not something you keep away from him. Right? And allowing them to see and to empathize in the home environment makes them better people when they go out. My other nephew is just in the cooking. When I say that baby in the kitchen, the baby in the kitchen. You hear me? And been in the kitchen. There are pictures of him sitting on the counter stirring at 1 and 2. He just has an affinity for it. Where his dad encourages him in. You don't need a woman to cook for you, son.
Exactly.
His sister is not into the kitchen. You know where they're not forcing her to go? In the kitchen. He's a young man who can fold clothes and put them away and take care and his sister is too. Why? Because you both will grow up to be independent people.
Mm-hmm.
How do I prepare you to be a good human? What's the good human curriculum?
I saw this woman who just teaches her son, these, like, you are not the man of my house. You do not run my house. You're not my boyfriend. You are, individual. And just kind of really instilling these values. And I think that's important moving forward because we have an opportunity to do so. If we don't want to continue to see what we're seeing and have these conversations, like, why don't black males protect black women? Like, a guy came in here earlier and was talking about, like, oh, where'd your check go? Like, I spent it on my girlfriend. And he was like, oh, don't give that girl all your money. And then mad when he don't get, he don't give women any money. But my thing is, that's null and void, because when white tea women ask for it, they give it all. When black women ask for it, they go diggers. But that's a whole nother story. Yeah, I am definitely happy to know that. Yeah, Renee, I am back. I think it was important for me to kind of take a break and take a step back because I was sick of arguing with Megan, and going in a circle about what the conversation is. These same talking points over and over every night. And I think it was very evident for us to kind of understand that, there are some deeper rooted issues to why we got to the results that we got, why we have so much blagger, why did they, hate Kamala Harris so much. And I think that it's important for us to have deeper conversations and get to the root of those and how we move forward to be able to affect change on a level to when it comes to election and why they make the decisions that they make. So I had to take a step back and kind of take a mental break, reevaluate what's next, and realize, like, we are what's left, and like, how do we move forward? So not only am I having some ideas on, like, how do we move forward as individuals, as black women. I have a black women community for sure for Black Women Films Days and Dems. And I'm also working on a way that we move forward as, on the left. And how do we reach out to our demographic of people as well, and also to the youth and to the mass. I think that's very important. And and I'll come back with new topics. Like, we're going to start having these tough topics. This week is stream. Sometimes it'll take us all week, and then depending on how deep it goes, it may take 2 weeks. And we'll try to bring in different people to kind of talk about it and speak on it as well. So self-care, any last words before we get out of here?
Real quick, really do think of what it means to be a good human. And if you don't know, interview some people who you think are good humans and instill that into the children you have influence over.
Come on,
that's a way to switch it up.
Thank you so much, self-care. I appreciate you for coming up tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Oh yeah.
That's how I'm trying to get the guy below me to say my name, but no pressure.
Which guy? The one from New York? I'm hollering. Hold on.
Yeah, that
Naquan, any last words? Let me edit this first. Naquan, any last words you want to say before we get out of here?
Nah, I love y'all. I'm about to get some bed.
We love you too, Naquan. Good night. You supposed to say, oh yeah.
We on TikTok, y'all. We on TikTok.
Oh Lord, let me disconnect.
Just say it later in my ear.
Any last words? Oh yeah, baby.
There is a difference between tricks and real-ass men. Tricks, they want to be needed. They need to feel like they're the bigger guy and all this, that, and the third. And I just proved to y'all that tricks will send money to anything. Know the difference between a trick and a real-ass man. I need y'all to start understanding that it's transactional with tricks. Tricks want attention. They want what they can never get. from their childhood, and I need you guys to start exploiting that. I need you guys to start understanding the power that you hold as a Black woman.
Tricks are for
I think I might start giving classes on how to use your tricks wisely.
Hey,
because the 6 motherfuckers that got my whole government name tatted on them, if I call
hold
them
on, you got
today
6
and
people
ask
with
for
your
1,000
government name tattooed on them?
Hey, we'll talk about that later.
Okay, that's a conversation for another day.
If I call them today and ask them for $1,000, guess what? It'd be in my hand within 5 minutes. Know how to use these tricks. Know how to use them. Know how to use the tools that God gave you. If they want to be tricks, let them be tricks. If that's a real ass man, know that they real ass men. Alrighty, bye.
We love you, Oya. I appreciate you, Queen. So make sure you guys give Oya a follow just in case you don't want to miss out on that class, okay?
Bye.
Dayton, any last words tonight? I'm gonna whoop your ass.
Sorry, I'm asleep. I'm up now. I'm sorry. There's a whole lot going on.
No, I ain't got nothing to say. I just think that we got to stop using that terminology trick. See, because a trick ain't tricking for no reason, sweetheart. So you got to say stupid men and tricks. Now, stupid man is going to send you X, Y, and Z. A trick ain't going to send you no X, Y, and Z without no X, Y, and Z in return. You're dealing with a dumb man then at that point. So just get that clear out the way first. Your makeup looks really nice tonight. You know that?
For me? Thank you.
We end on a good note. You know
I was like, let me show up tonight. Let me show up. I ain't been here in a minute. We coming with some new ways. So let's just, let me do it.
That's it. Hey, we got to find out what's going on with our lady. I ain't see Susie in a while.
I know. That's what I was thinking too.
Time out. I have to respond to this lady in the chat. Sweetheart, if they sending you $1,000 for your conversation, you tell them that Dayton said that they're a fucking fool. Okay?
Don't tell them that, because then you might not get your $1,000. Okay?
Because trust me, I ain't talking to nobody for $1,000. I'm gonna call it what it is. It is what I'm fucking. You ain't got that much conversation in the fucking world, okay? Bullshit.
Ain't nothing you can say.
And the damn thing you can say, let me sing your G. You got me fucked up. Shit, the only thing you could say is the door's open. On the other side, but maybe, like I said, you got these dumb ones out there that will do that shit. So I mean, it's what it is. But I gotta hold a class for my younger fellas to let them know. Listen, dude.
I think that certain people and everybody has a different thing of what they value. You know what I'm saying? Normally, I guess you would say on an average, we don't value, which ain't nothing you could say to me. But some people are raised, invisible to their parents, to people around them, and need just conversation. Some people just need to get attention, and we don't want to underestimate like what somebody would pay just to talk, just to be talked to. But they value conversation, or they value being cuddled, or they value something else, or they value, you putting them in an adult diaper and spanking them while they cry and suck on a large baby bottle.
Show, Jess.
But that's a whole nother thing.
That's a whole nother show, Jess.
Okay. I'll say, let me write that down for another day. Okay. Let's go! That is so cute. I get to see it 2 times. I get to see it on the computer, and I get to see it. That is so. Who did that? Tell them they did it. Oh, I'm from the pen a bit. Tell them they like, wow. We can definitely go to sleep on that one. That was so cute. Drop some coconuts in the chat for Dayton. That was so cute. They be having these new gifts. I just be wanting to see what they look like sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see what they look like.
Well, just look at the bright side, okay? Just look at the bright side, Jess.
I'm looking.
We learned today the difference between a trick and a fool.
We also learned
So
if you want protection from black men, you need to let them tell you what to wear, what to put on your hair, on your
yes.
head.
Yes, indeed. You got to. That's the only way you can do it. You got to let these black women know that, listen, in order for me to control you, you know, that's the only way I'm going to protect you. You know, y'all got to tell you what to put on. Nah, take that skirt off, put on them sweatpants. You know what I mean? No. You know what I mean? I want my lady, like I said, whether it's my wife, fiance, or girlfriend, whichever person I'm with that day, I want you to look nice. If you feel comfortable looking the way you look, that's what's up. Because at the end of the day, you're going back with me. So I can care less. You know what I mean? I don't understand that.
If you know
trust me, I'm not going to date nobody that's half naked. So I mean, but if you look good, then you look good. Shit.
Thank you. That's all I'm just trying to tell him. You know what I'm saying?
Well, this dude sound like he's been militialized, I call it. You know, because the way he talk like he heard it somewhere before, and he's repeating it, and he just got it down packed, and he's saying these things, and he sound like he got completely whitewashed. You know what I mean? Seriously. Bless his heart, though, man, because he means well. I mean, because some of the things you said is true. We do need to take control of our community. We really got to take, you know, things do reflect bad on us, but we do have to understand that there's a cause and effect for everything.
Exactly.
That's all.
Exactly.
That's all.
Well, thank you so much. Can y'all drop some more coconuts for Dayton in the chat, y'all? He definitely held it down. Y'all see who the number one held the whole live down tonight would be a Dayton motherfucking said it. Thank you so much, Dayton. We appreciate you. Thank you for being my number one shooter.
I try to be the best I can be. You know, I try to have the most terrible stalking points I can have.
What? It's in you. It ain't on you. It's in you and it's on you. Okay. I appreciate it.
All right, love.
All right. Also too, y'all, Dayton is right. If anybody, we are officially putting the APB out on Susie McClusey. So if you are anywhere on these TikTok streets, if you see Susie McClusey on Instagram, Twitter, wherever, you let her know that the royal family is looking for her. Oh my God. Also too, if you guys have signed up for Erica Shantae's Discord, for some reason, when you sign up for Erica's Discord, it automatically kicks you out of my Discord. So please let me know and we will re-put you back into the Discord, you guys. Susie's been missing. Yes, we're officially putting the APB out. Yes, okay? Tell her her fiance is looking for her, okay? Tell her Dayton is looking for her. We need the Hawkeye system, okay? We definitely do. Where you at? Tell you where you at, okay? I have to get my subscription back, but you're already in the Discord. Take your time, CJ. You got other things to worry about, but you're already in the Discord, so don't worry about it. Can I get more? You know what, Sammy? If you want, you can submit stickers to me and I can approve them to add more stickers. So any stickers you guys want, if you are a sub, you can submit stickers and I can add them to the thing, right? So please feel free to add any stickers. Happy late night, beautiful queen. Happy late night to you too. So again, if you have signed up for Erica's Discord, you may have possibly gotten kicked out of my Discord. So just reach out to me and I will let you back in. That was from Jerome from Martin. Which one? Ooh, 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 ooh. I say Jerome and a half. No, you don't. You don't. Sammy, do you need the link to the Discord? Naquan, if you're still in here, can you send the link to the Discord to Sammy Jr., please? Thanks for having me. Of course, no problem, Self Queen. We're actually about to get out of here. YouTube, thank you, and Twitch, thank you so thank you so much, guys, for being here. I appreciate you. Again, we're ending it tonight. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button and share it with a friend if you enjoyed